bubbles. Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups to large companies, young families to seniors, and those with shared backgrounds and interests. We value your contributions and are proud to work alongside you because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon climbing into the upper 60s. Clear and pretty brisk as we head through the night. Overnight low will drop down upper 30s. Friday, lots of sunshine, a high in the low 70s. And then Saturday, a bounty of sunshine, highs on Saturday close to 75. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
One Razorback is vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning and welcome in on Halftime ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Olsen here, my partner Matt Jones. Christian Johnston is producing. And it is a glorious day to be with you to talk sports, Razorback sports specifically for the next 3 hours. Glad to have you with us today. Matt, man, I got to tell you, this is the best I have felt all week long. It doesn't take that much effort to stand up straight today. That's the first day of the week I can say that. I think if I were to, honestly, on Monday, I was a little worried about my availability for the radio broadcast on Saturday, because if you're going to spot in the booth for the play-by-play guy, it helps to be able to stand up straight for about 3.5 to 4 hours. If I would have put my availability in question on Monday, I would have put it as questionable. Today, not even a game-time decision. I know I'll be there on Saturday, and it seems Taylen Green will too.
That's great news, right? I read that this morning. I know I've been speculating and what everybody is and what I saw didn't look too good. And the last I read, I think it was a report on Yahoo, Phil. You might have saw the same reports. But it said Taylen Green will be starting quarterback. So, hey, that's good news for Hawk fans.
He's not even on the availability report. There's
Young.
2 players. That's it. Jalen Braxton is out once again. Rodney Hill is doubtful. Could miss his second game in a row. But outside of that, I mean, I guess I was surprised because I thought, look, you're supposed to be honest about these things, but I thought it was a chance to maybe, just be a little bit coy about it and force LSU to plan for 2 quarterbacks. It doesn't sound like that's the case at all because, hey, it doesn't mean Taylen Green is 100%. What it does mean to me is that they're 100% going to play him.
I think he can run probably 90-something% of the offense. That's why. He can still run the offense. The thing is, my question is, do you feel better now? Like, how much better do you feel that knowing that Taylen Green's going to be starting? And then 2, does he finish the game? He's going to start. Do you think he finishes the game? How many snaps will the backup have?
That's a very good question to ask you. Just because you start something doesn't mean that you're going to finish it. I think that's a very good point.
I do feel better though that he's healthy.
Well, I feel better about their chances to win this game. Absolutely. Based on Green being available and knowing he's going to play and knowing he's going to start. And I'll throw in there that usually I assume that if you start the game, you're going to finish it. I feel better about their chances to win. I think they could win with Malachi Singleton at quarterback, but I think you got a much better opportunity with Taylen Green based on his playmaking ability. But also I wonder about, and now so this gets to the heart of something I think we were talking about even last week during the bye week. If he's not 100%, what does 90% mean? What does 85% mean? Does he have to stay in the pocket a little longer? Does he have to, just be mindful of what's of that left knee? Or maybe if it's not even an issue right now, because I would think if it's an issue, he'd have been on the report. I guess it all matters in how he feels at practice yesterday, today, and then tomorrow. It's the day before the game. He used to get out and go and see how it works on Saturday.
He'll probably do a lot more give reads on that read option. You're going to trust your running back a little more, and I wish he would trust his running back a little more in the red zone. I think we could score a little more. They like to pull. Malachi missed that read, and they let him in. But you get that read right. Let your running back run the ball in the red zone. My thing that I'm worried about, I guess, it would be the third down. How good we've been on third down. How Taylen Green beats the blitz is with his legs 90% of the time. He beats it with his arms sometimes. I'm not saying he can't do it. That number can get better, will get better, has to get better. But he's so athletic, and we know that. I mean, we all know that half his thing, if not more, is his ability to use his legs. Hopefully, third down. What do you do if you're LSU the first couple third downs? Do you just bring the heat? Do you just make sure, hey, we're going to blitz him and see? We're going to test that leg out early. We're going to see how healthy Taylen Green is.
Isn't that how you would handle it? I mean, if you know that somebody's got maybe potentially a little bit of a gimpy leg and he plays the most important position on the field, I'd be testing that.
Phil,
Absolutely.
we had coaches that would put a bounty up on the board that said the first guy that we all put $100. Not me. I'm offense player. They all put $100 in, and they say the first guy that can knock him out gets the pile. So
come on! I thought that only happened with the Saints, and no other franchise ever did that before.
He was my D coordinator. He was at Jacksonville for a year too, Greg Williams. So yeah. No, we started doing that at the receiver. They're like, if you hit somebody, so he brings that style. That's something that goes on. A lot of defensive guys are like that, man. They're not trying to injure somebody, but they're going to try to knock you out. I mean, it's a battle. It's a fight. It's like you get in a boxing ring. I'm not trying to injure you, but I'm trying to knock you out.
Trying to win.
That's
right.
What
it comes down
That's
to.
what we're doing.
And if you and I think most fans feel more confident in Arkansas's ability to win with Taylen Green at quarterback, I think the LSU defenders, and their defensive coordinator and Brian Kelly would view it the same way. And I'm not out here accusing them or thinking that they're going to go put a bounty on him, but they know full well that he's not 100%. They know full well that a certain kind of hit might, as you're saying, knock him out of the game. And the injury, I guess, is also just like to them like a tertiary portion of what they just did to try to win the game. Absolutely, I think they'll bring the blitz on him. Absolutely. And the thing is you do that at your own risk against a quarterback like Taylen Green, but usually that's if he's at 100%. So I mean this is such an interesting game to see how Travis Williams is gonna plan to either attack or maybe play back against this great pass attack for LSU. You know that they're going to try to run it as well, but now, I think this also, maybe this goes to the extent also of a development of a quarterback, Matt, because, by the time you get into late November, you don't feel like you did in September, do you? There's going to be those bumps and those bruises and all of that, and this kind of is the first time that Taylen's dealing with that at Arkansas. I'm sure there's been a couple of bumps and bruises along the way, but not quite like a bone bruise is something that was important on that left knee.
Yeah, you're banged up. You're banged up. Sometimes you get banged up during camp, and it'll linger all season. But absolutely, after a couple games, you got little nicks and little bruises if you're playing, because it's a collision sport. Let's be honest. It's a collision sport, and those hits they're like little mini car crashes every time. So you got to go in and get the treatment and the maintenance and the rehab you have to.
I'm starting to get now that I can stand up straight, I'm actually starting to get a little bit more fired up about this game. I love it again. Now, you could feel it leading into the Tennessee game, just the excitement of being on the ABC broadcast, top 10 team, top 5 team at that point coming in. But it was the sort of thing where it's like, all right, Arkansas and Tennessee don't play all the time. I feel like there's something there, but this is a little bit foreign to us to see these two teams playing here. With LSU, every single year, this game means something to this fan base, and I don't think quite as much to the LSU fan base and to both of the teams and the quality of play that we've seen on the field for the last 4 years between these teams. I'm starting to get really fired up about this one on Saturday, Matt, because to me, look, I love the Arkansas-Tennessee game. That meant something. But there is something about I was going to say playing for the Golden Boot, but it even meant something before the boot came. There is something about Arkansas versus LSU that just feels like I think it means more than any other game on the schedule to a lot of our listeners outside of the Texas game.
If I was to rank them, Phil, I would have Texas number 1. I would have LSU number 2. I would have Alabama number 3 as far as how Arkansas looked. Tennessee 4, Ole Miss 5. That's kind of how. But yes, yeah, Texas, LSU.
Where you put Mizzou?
Well, we got to beat them, I guess, before they can get on the list.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, LSU has had the Razorbacks.
What are we, 9-19? Is that what? Was that Clay Henry that said that? We're 9-19 in the last for the boot.
I think you're right. I know it's 6 out of the last 7.
Okay.
Even though the last 4 have been, and most of those have been close games, but I think you're exactly right about that. And it's like I was looking for the Southwest Classic trophy at the AT&T Stadium before kickoff. I couldn't find it. You're not going to have any problem finding the Golden Boot. This is I think this is the biggest trophy that anybody plays for in sports. Is there a bigger trophy? Like literally, is there a larger trophy? For team sports than the Golden Boot. Maybe the Stanley Cup. Stanley Cup is rather large. It does take 2 hands to raise that thing, and it takes one person. Can one person actually raise the Golden Boot? That thing's huge.
I mean, Paul Bunyan's battle ass. That's got to be up there, right?
I think it takes more than one person to raise that, Matt. You're right about that. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I remembered that one too. 877-377-6963. As we go through at halftime today, we'll lay it out there in front of you here today. We've got Bob Holt coming up in a moment. Can't get Brett Dolan today, but we've got the next best thing. We've got his broadcast partner for Touchdown Radio and Heisman Trophy winner Gino Torretta joining us in about an hour. They'll be on the call for Arkansas LSU on Saturday, and that's what we got today, our two guests, and maybe I'll even throw in a real Paul Bunyan's axe, the right trophy that they play for.
Want to ask him about Cam Ward. I know they just had Cam Ward on there, and I'm intrigued with Cam Ward, Phil, from last year, saying he was going to go to the NFL draft and then not liking his draft projection and then transferring from, what was he at, Wazoo last year, going all the way over to Miami, and what he's doing, what the way he's performing, kind of get his thoughts on Cam Ward for sure.
But in just a moment, it's Bob Holt. First, want to remind you about Wood Power Sports when you're looking for your next side-by-side motorcycle, ATV, or zero-turn mower. You don't need to look any farther than your local Wood Power Sports store. They got over 9 brands to choose from at their 3 locations in Harrison, Springdale, and Fayetteville. If you think of a brand, they probably have it. CF Moto, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda, just to name a few. These 3 convenient locations also provide outstanding service and parts capabilities and offer deliveries. That's Wood Power Sports, a solid name you can trust. They're online at woodpowersports.com. Bob Holt from the Democrat Gazette on Halftime in just a moment.
I hate rude behavior in a man. Won't tolerate it.
This is Halftime.
Three on the wagon, it's gone. It's over. There goes Auburn. The number 1 team in the country is defeated, and they are rushing the court in Bud Walton Arena.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number 1 source for everything sports betting. Every stat, every matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, and NBA to political props. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack, poke. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial.
Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Should start with Bob. It's time to talk with a unique individual.
You said you and Diva are OGs, old guys? Brett, you spoke so positively recently. I mean, did you expect this to happen?
He's a man of mystery.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
Hey, it's Bob again. I think I'm unmuted now. I figured it out.
Man, you win the lottery 3 times, get to go to Starkville.
A man whose incisive questions had rapier wit.
Hey, John, but I had a 2-parter if that's okay.
What did you mean? I'm sorry. I'm not that.
Man, we got to get the Packers straightened out. Losing to the Jets, that ain't in Lambeau, that ain't good.
That placed him on the Mount Rushmore of Arkansas sports writers.
What do you think about this?
Yeah, Bob. Future in that, yeah.
Here he is, the one and only Bob Holt.
Hey, guys.
Morning, Bob. Appreciate you coming on as always on these Thursdays. What you got going on?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
We're good. Thanks, man. It was kind of interesting. Now, it wasn't the first time you'd asked John Calipari a question as the Arkansas head basketball coach, but it was the first time that you asked him at SEC Media Days something about Arkansas that didn't have anything to do with Kentucky. I think you were talking to him about, does this feel weird for you? You know, how does it feel for you, Coach Calipari, coming in as the Arkansas? What about for you, someone that's used to asking him the questions from Kentucky, from the Kentucky side of things? But here at Media Days, there he is wearing the Razorback red for the first time up there.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, and asked really about every other coach about him. They were all gave pretty good stuff. There are a ton of guys like Rick Barnes has known him. They've known each other since the mid-'70s, and they worked basketball camps together. I think Rick Barnes said he had just gotten out of college, and John was still in college. But this would have been about 75, and then he got somebody like Mark Pope who replaced him at Kentucky, but they seem to have a really good relationship. And so, yeah, it was different. I mean, even, Greg Sankey, the SC commissioner, he introduced every coach, men and women, and he'd give a little intro, a little spiel, and he said it was, still taking some. He was getting used to seeing John in a different shade of color, but he was glad he was still in the SEC. And I think one of the Kentucky writers asked Bruce Pearl about Mark Pope, and Pearl did talk about Pope. Then he said, I'm paraphrasing here, but some of the effects of, well, how great is it for the SEC to get to have John Calipari at Arkansas and have Mark Pope go to Kentucky. So it's like even when you weren't necessarily asked about Cal, you said something about him if you were a coach, So, but it was kind of surreal, yeah, because I know he got hired several months ago and he's had several speaking engagements and they've had spring meetings. But the tip-off deal is where you really see most of the media and everybody's gearing up for the season and they've been in practice, and so that was kind of maybe the official, yeah, this really happened. I didn't dream it up. He really is the Arkansas coach.
Well, I guess, it's sort of, to me, mirrored maybe in a different way, but felt a little bit like football media days, in which, the overarching topic or the thing that was hanging over the whole deal was Nick Saban, who wasn't the head coach any longer at Alabama. And in this case, it felt like Calipari's move to Arkansas, or him just being the Arkansas coach, was overarching the number one topic at basketball media days. And it's kind of interesting how those mirrored each other.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there's any question. And, you think the big story would be Texas and OU coming into the league. And, of course, that is a big story still. But, and Kentucky having a new coach, Mark Pope, that's a big story. But I think, a coach going from Kentucky to anywhere in the league is a really big story. And, of course, when it's somebody that's already in the Naismith Hall of Fame and has been in there, I guess, for 9 years, that it's just, everything just kind of compounds it. And plus, it's not like he's going to some downtrodden program. He's going to Arkansas, which maybe doesn't have quite the history of Kentucky. Very few places do, but Arkansas has got a great history too. And a couple of coaches pointed that out. I mean, Buzz Williams was I think I asked some of the guys, like, maybe how big a shock was it in the coaching community? Not that a good coach would take the Arkansas job, but that somebody would, Cal would leave Kentucky when he's been there so long and been so successful. Obviously, recent years haven't been as good. And Buzz Williams pointed out, well, Arkansas's got a lot of history, and I think Nate Oates, the Alabama coach, talked about the pride Arkansas has. So in some ways it's made a lot of sense. And basically, everybody said the same things. They all expect him to be really successful at Arkansas, just like he was at Kentucky. And then obviously you look at what Eric Musselman did. Last season was a disappointment, but 3 seasons before that were all really good, especially the 2 Elite Eight appearances.
Hey, Bob, last year, the splash hire, so to speak, with Chris Beard out at Ole Miss. How do you think they're going to do him there in year 2 at Ole Miss?
Well, they're ranked 19th in the AP poll. I think they're going to be pretty good. As always, they got some good players in the transfer portal. They got some good players coming back. I think Ole Miss was maybe 1 or 2 wins away from going to the in-state tournament. They were 20-12. I guess they turned down an NIT bid. I think these days people just don't want to go to the NIT, unfortunately, if that's an option, and they can't get in the NCAA tournament. But yeah, I think Ole Miss is going to be pretty good. But they're one of, and it's a preseason poll. Obviously, it's a projection, not a reality. But 9 SEC teams in the top 25. That's in the preseason top 25. That's never happened before. I don't know if football's ever done that. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I think Chris Beard will have a good year too at Ole Miss. And he's also had a history of doing well in the second year. He probably would have done well in the second year at UALR, but after going 30-5, he left for Texas Tech. Well, first he left for UNLV, then he left for Texas Tech. But yeah, I think Chris Beard will have a good season.
I think some fans were a little taken aback by Arkansas being picked 5th in the SEC, and their mindset is, hey, you got Cal, you got this really, really talented roster, and they maybe should have been voted higher than that. And I can see a point to this, but I also wonder, I think that's a really high opinion of what a team looks like right now for a first-year coach at a program, whether he's a Hall of Fame guy or not, and a completely different roster. I mean, a totally different roster. He's told the story so often about, let me see the team. Oh, there is no team and all of that. You don't know how they're going to be cohesive or whether they will be. We don't know the strengths or weaknesses of this team just yet. So I think 5th, actually, I think that says a lot about the team that he's put together before they've even taken the floor.
Yeah, I don't have the poll in front of me. I think they got picked 4th.
Was it
I think
4th?
They got picked
4th?
I think
4th.
I think they got picked
okay.
behind Alabama, Auburn, and Tennessee. And yeah, 4th. I think Kentucky might have gotten picked 8. Do what? So it's just a really good league. And of course the coaches they're going to promote their league, but now with being quote kind of a super conference with Texas and OU coming in, 16 teams. I think it was Mike White who's at Georgia, and he coached at Florida and played at Ole Miss, so he obviously knows the league really well. He said that he thinks that they should get double-digit bids, and of course the Big Ten's going to say that too, and maybe the Big 12 will. I don't know, but yeah, it's a very deep league and probably arguably the best it's ever been.
Bob, well, I think all of the state of Arkansas, the fans are a little excited after the news coming out that Taylor Green's going to be starting this week. Kind of, what are you thinking? How do you see this Arkansas LSU matchup? I think LSU, for what I've seen so far, they look like one of the most explosive teams, if not the most explosive team in the SEC.
Well, they can really. Nussmeier in his first year as a starting quarterback, he's averaging, I think he's about 330 passing yards. To me, their running game's been kind of disappointing. I think they're only averaging a little over 120, and I think they'd like to have more balance. But hey, they protected. They've only given up 2 sacks all year. That's very impressive. Ole Miss came into that game last week, I think, leading the SEC in sacks with 24. They didn't add to that total. They still got 24, and so OU didn't sack them. So yeah, I think they're a really strong passing team. They got a really good tight end as usual. They got speed on the edge. They got 2. Everybody talks about they got 2 tackles that are going to be our NFL guys. Maybe that whole line. The line's very experienced. Of course, Brad Davis, their offensive line coach, was with Sam here at Arkansas. He's a really, really good coach. So, and they got after defensively. Harold Perkins unfortunately is out for the year, and he's one of the best players in the SEC, one of the best players in the country, and he wreaked havoc with Arkansas and Fayetteville a couple of years ago. getting 3 or 4 sacks, whatever it was. But yeah, LSU I think sacked Jackson Dart 6 times. So they're a team that protects real well, and they get after the quarterback on defense real well. So and they're always loaded with athletes, right? So, but I see it as kind of I think it's a pick-em game in Fayetteville. And as you guys mentioned, with Talon being back, and obviously that open date really came at a good time for that. But I mean, I think Arkansas, I think the crowd's going to be crazy, just like it was for Tennessee. And if Arkansas gives them something to cheer about, it's going to be another great atmosphere. And I think Arkansas's got I think it's a 50-50 game. You know, I mean, it won't surprise me either way.
Do you think that there's any specific advantages that they have over LSU in terms of what it is Arkansas does well and where LSU may struggle?
Well, I think Arkansas's run defense has been pretty good all year. I mean, they don't have a ton of sacks, but I think they've been really good with their run fits, whether it's the linemen, I think the linebackers have really played well. That's been arguably one of their best positions. And, they've gotten pretty good run support. Think about T.J. Metcalf, the safety. And Jaden Johnson, but Metcalf especially is a very physical safety and sure tackler. And so I think that Arkansas's, they want to make them one-dimensional. And I think LSU only ran for maybe under 50 yards against Ole Miss or something. So I think that's an area where that could be a plus for Arkansas. They're, holding down the LSU rushing offense.
Bob, one thing that I've noticed a little bit, maybe once here and there, and it's not like you can run the screen game 12 times in one game, but one way to negate the blitz and to help your quarterback is to be efficient in the screen game. Could you see us helping Talon Green and maybe throwing a screen in there once a quarter?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, I think Jaquindon Jackson, he's a good receiver out of the backfield. I think Braylon Russell could do that. Maybe get your tight ends more involved now that they've had another week to get healthy. And we know that. And I know it's different defense, and they basically LSU changed their whole defensive staff after last year. But if you remember, Luke Haas had a monster game against them, caught a couple deep passes for touchdowns, and hopefully he'll be healthy with another week. Him and Ty Washington. So yeah, I could see the backs being involved in the passing game, and also getting maybe the tight ends more involved.
Bob, did you pour one out for the Tigers after the division series loss to the Guardians? Nobody expected them to get there, even after the first 2-3 months. It's a really successful season and a franchise that's going in the right direction.
Well, yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I'm not one of those people that was disappointed to lose that game 5, especially when we had our ace going and he gave up a grand slam. Yeah, that was I was there in Hot Springs waiting to go to the basketball event, and I said probably some words I shouldn't have. Although it was in a sports bar and it was very loud. But yeah, disappointing ending to a really pleasantly surprising season. I mean, getting back to the playoffs and the run we put on. Like, hey, how you doing, man? A lot of young guys playing that you hope that'll carry over, and they can add some good pieces, maybe some starting pitchers. So we have more than one actual starting pitcher in our full rotation. But yeah, I mean, the Tigers had a great run, made the playoffs, knocked off the Astros, took the Guardians to the limit. I think we have the Cy Young winner, got some really good young players. So yeah, I mean, if a Tiger fan is unhappy about that season, they just don't want to be happy.
Sounds like you're I know you're at the Hogs Illustrated luncheon today. Coach Cal speaking, about 45 minutes from now? So, hey.
Yeah, so actually, I think it might be closer to noon. So, yeah, around 30 minutes, something like that. Hopefully it's not all talked out from media days.
I don't think he's ever all talked out. Don't you think so?
True. Yeah.
I think so,
yeah.
Too. Well, Bob, we'll let you go. I appreciate you coming on, as always. Have a good lunch there, and we'll see you Saturday, Arkansas LSU.
Okay, sounds good. You guys take care.
Thanks, Bob.
Bob Holt. He's nearly holding court there at the Hogs Illustrated.
Hey, man. Hey, cool, man. Good to see you, man. I'll holler at you later.
Get your autograph over there. They'll be free for 10 minutes, and then after that, it's $5.
Coolest cat out there.
No kidding. Brought to you by Valley Family Dental. Used to be Riley Farm Dental, still at the entrance to Riley Farm, and still providing every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman Farmer and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice, specializing in general dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, and now same-day crowns. Patients have a better life, a better smile, be more confident, and have a comfortable experience every time at Valley Family Dental. 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A. That's the entrance to Riley Farm off Highway 71 in Fort Smith, 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. You want to get on with us on halftime? Calls and texts come in at 877-377-6963, and we are back right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is ultimately all about fun. So is the new Ultimate Riches Scratch-Off ticket. It's loaded with over $3 million in prizes of $100 or more, all the way up to the ultimate prize, $200,000. You could be the first to win it all. Try the Ultimate Riches Scratch-Off game new this October at local lottery retailers. Have fun. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
At GNC, we know motivation can come from anywhere. You could be at the gym, totally focused on yourself and your own goal. You refuse to be gym-intimidated. Maybe you're on a weight loss journey, a new path to change your life. Nothing's gonna stop you. Or maybe you're putting in overtime on those booty goals. No shame in getting those gains round back. You could just be out to prove that when it comes to pickleball, you are a pickle baller. No matter what motivates you, we have the fuel to keep you going. Fuel your fitness at GNC.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
When it comes to your new Ford, come to the dealer you can trust. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Troy, there's a lot of noise out there, and sometimes, you find a deal that probably sounds too good to be true. That's never the case at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford.
You're 100% correct, Tommy. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there today in the market. People saying that you can get $10,000, $12,000 off of a new vehicle, and then you get there and you don't qualify for this or you don't qualify for that, so you don't get that deal. So we want to make sure that when you come see us, that we want to go to work for you. We want to get you the most money that you qualify for. And hey, we want to take care of you and get you a discount on a new vehicle and make sure that you leave this lot happy knowing that you got a great deal.
Plus, you got the best selection you've had all year long.
Yes, best selection all year. The best selection that we've had in the last several years. So come and see us. We've got the inventory. We've got what you're looking for. Come and see us, Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford.
1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw, and always online at harryrobinson.com.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
My second up, the game plan that he put together, that was fun to watch.
3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. I'm a patient there, and you can be too. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Love is a flame. Let it burn like a torch. If love was a game, take my hand and roll the dice upon the board. As I need.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I'll say this about the Golden Boot Trophy. It is aesthetically pleasing. It's a nice thing. I love maps. I've always had a thing for maps. Used to buy a new road atlas every year until those kind of became obsolete. So I could stand there in front of the Golden Boot for a while and just sort of look at it and figure out where the rivers are and the cities are and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's an attractive looking trophy. I have found, I think, the ugliest trophy in college sports here. It is called the Troll, and it goes to the winner of the annual game between Concordia College and St. Olaf, which, throw the records out when those teams play. This thing is made from Norwegian moss and pine cone, and it literally is a troll standing there with some kind of a large walking stick. He's got a belt. He's got an amulet. And it almost looks like a combination of Oscar the Grouch and Snuffleupagus from Sesame Street. I wouldn't want to play for that thing. In fact, I'd be running in the other direction. That thing looks like it's nightmare fuel.
And it smells like Heather Graham from Without a Paddle.
The Golden Boot's pretty though. I like this trophy. And it seems to me, I think it means more to people than the Battle Line or the Southwest Trophy. I still remember seeing, remember that shutout in Bielema's second to last year, third to last year, when they just streamed for that thing. I mean, streamed for it. You could see it after Cam Little's field goal cleared the bars at Tiger Stadium in 2021. They streamed right for that trophy. I think this trophy means something. But I guess we'll kind of find that out over these next few days because it is a team that's made up of over 50 newcomers. By now, you're not newcomers, so you just got to buy into the idea that this game means a hell of a lot.
Trophy game, that A&M trophy game, Phil, was that tied in with being at Jerry's World? Is that a trophy game anymore? So that would have been a big win because that gets to stay in their trophy case forever now.
I think, I wonder,
we're not doing the Southwest Classic
anymore, right?
It's a home and home, yeah. That was a big, that was for keeps.
One trophy out the window, I guess. We'll still be doing the Battle Line thing until the end of time because that's a game Arkansas will be playing every year. Who are the other two teams Arkansas plays against every year? It's Mizzou, I think it's Texas, and was it Ole Miss was the other team?
I thought you were talking about trophy games.
Well, I was kind of hoping that the LSU series would stick around because, I still loved this series when it was played, when you played
right before
it, Matt.
Thanksgiving or the yeah, that was a cool time to play it. You felt like it was always 2:30 on CBS or ABC or whenever those was, but it was always you always felt like everybody was watching. You always it's like you elevate your game a little bit more when our attention to detail. It's like you're playing on national television.
And it's the only game to watch at that point too. You had the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving Day, in the Iron Bowl the day after, but it's at night, and then you had the Arkansas game kind of leading right into it. Tyler texts in at 877-377-6963, and I think this is true. I do think this is how folks around Tyler's age, he says he's 28 years old, view this. He says, LSU is my generation's Texas. I can see that. There is a difference, though, in the idea that Texas just was the totally dominant program of the Southwest Conference for decades, and they were the dog that wagged the tail being the rest of the conference. LSU national championships and everything over the time Arkansas has been in the SEC. There are other programs that have been dominant at times. Think of Alabama, Georgia. Auburn's had a couple of undefeated seasons and a national championship thrown in there too. So it's not just one school that's been the dominant thing. It's just that this, it's a state that you're attached to. You recruit against them in a lot of cases, and I can see what he's getting at here. I don't put it quite at the level of Texas, Matt, but I do put LSU on a pedestal ahead of just about everybody else in the SEC in terms of how fans view that program.
Yeah, I could see that too. I do. I think it's LSU and Texas. I guess whatever order you want to put it in, as far as our top two, rival games. Even if they don't see it that way, I think that's what Arkansas fans see it. I mean, yeah, Texas LSU, I think easily is 1-2.
And it's different, sport to sport. With baseball, you've got like 6 or 7 different rivals.
Isn't baseball
really
more
stand
Tennessee
out.
because of the coach that went over there,
Feels like it now, but I mean, there was an Arkansas LSU thing for a long time, and it still is there. It's just they're not going to play each other every year. And that, to me, had a little more of the feel of like Texas versus Arkansas because LSU was the dominant baseball program for a long time, up until about 11 or 12 years ago.
And then basketball's Kentucky, right? I mean, and then
Absolutely.
now it's
Alabama
even,
too.
Yeah, now it's even exponentially bigger because we got their coach.
That's exactly right. Wanted to play something Sam Pittman said about the Arkansas linebackers. We were touching on this yesterday about how this is really a position of strength. I thought it was a position of strength last year until the rope was dropped and guys transferred out or left for what they hope to be an NFL career. Linebackers at Arkansas this year, no doubt, position of strength.
Linebackers are very, very special because they have to have a great physicality, and they've got to read through that guard. Through the guard to the back, and then they have to, obviously cover. They blitz. They do so many things, and the world was falling last year. When some of the kids hit the portal and all that. But I'm telling you, our linebackers are good now with Steven Dix and Sorey and Switzer and Shaw, and they can run. You have to be able to run nowadays, because so much spread. Used to you want a big, 250, 60-pound Mike linebacker, but you do if he can run.
Yeah, and you're going to have to be able to run because I think one of the major points of winning this game is limiting their tight end, Mason Taylor, who's one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the country, big, very fast, and your linebackers are going to have to come up pretty big against him because, as we'll talk about them being a pass-oriented offense, and they've got a couple of really strong receivers. But, Matt, I think their best pass catcher is the tight end, and he leads them in receptions. Your linebackers, man, they've been really good against the run. I think they've been good in pass coverage too, but they're going to have to be even better this Saturday in pass coverage.
How do we tackle in space? How do we pursue as a team? These are questions that will be answered. Those are things that we're going to have to do well if we're going to beat this LSU team. Tackle in a gang. You got a gang tackle. Help your brother. You got to pursue. Be able to take the right pursuit. That's a lot of it too. Is the geometry of it. You see a guy getting an angle, you got to be able to figure out how can I get him down, and that's going to be big. How do we tackle those guys in space, and then limiting the explosive plays? That's I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous about that, Phil. This going into this game. If I was to say something that we haven't given up, we haven't had a lot of games this year, if hardly any, where they've thrown it over the top of us. We have to continue that. We can't give up 60, 70-yard touchdown plays.
And yeah, I mean, LSU's got the big play-oriented offense as well. They've had a lot of long touchdown plays, and then there's little chunks that they're good at as well. What was it, 15 plays of 15 or 12 plays of 15 yards or more in the passing game?
Was that just against Ole Miss?
Just against Ole Miss.
That's a crazy stat.
Well, I mean, think about this, too. Nussmeier completed 22 passes. 12 of them went for 15 yards or more. I mean, he didn't have the best day in terms of completion percentage, but in terms of what you got on the completed passes, it was just fine.
And Ole Miss kind of rattled a little bit early. They kind of got to him a little bit, and he kind of settled in. And if they, you got to – and you can't fall asleep on that run, that A gap, B gap run when you're starting to get out wide and to try to get to the quarterback, or you fall in a trap because they throw it 7 straight plays. You think, oh, this is going to be another pass play, and then they'll catch it.
All right, quick break on halftime. You want to get with us? It's 877-377-6963. There will be much more coming up after the break here on halftime.
This is halftime.
Award-winning barbecue is always at the Links at Chaffee Crossing. Whether it's ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, they can satisfy any appetite. Enjoy daily food and drink specials while you watch the games on one of several TVs. The Links at Chaffee Crossing is here and always ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
Looking for a healthcare provider that truly listens to you? At Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, their team of nurse practitioners offer personalized healthcare with their in-house labs. Get fast results. Elite Wellness goes beyond just treating symptoms. Their holistic approach addresses the root causes of your well-being. Whether it's preventative care, illness, or exploring natural treatments, your health journey begins with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. Call 479-242-9355 for your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards RealFit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
If you're interested in continuing your involvement in high school athletics and want to make some extra money, what better way to do so than by becoming an official? For information on how you can give back to student athletes in Arkansas, please contact us at 501-955-2500. Again, that's 501-955-2500. The Arkansas Activities Association is looking for sports officials, and you may be the answer.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Want to take me to? Want to take me to?
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
We're going to head right to our hotline here. Eduardo is on the phone. You can do the same at 877-377-6963. Eduardo, you had a little intro song for yourself there. Are there any funky recipes in the funky ingredients in the recipe for this weekend?
I tell you what, I'm working on it right now because, this is a big, big game coming up and the Hawk Pound Saturday night. And by the way, I think the X Factor is going to be our fan base. And I believe this team is an X Factor. Remember the Bryan Adams song, everything I do for you. Well, these players do for our fan base. And come Saturday night, that X Factor is going to be on display, baby.
Eduardo, I'm still waiting for you to quote something by Richard Marx at some point. If you're doing Bryan Adams, Richard Marx has to be around the corner soon. Hey, I had to ask you this. We had a couple texters say that the LSU to them, and they're younger, LSU is their Texas in terms of hatred, how they view the rivalry. Now maybe things will change a little bit because Texas is in the SEC now. Where do you put LSU in terms of dislike?
I put them just below the Texas Long, the Huckam Horns rivalry, which I grew up, which is echoed in my soul. The Woo Pig Suey versus the Huckam Horns. And by the way, come Saturday night, that's going to be on display inside the Hall Pound. Because what's born in the USA? West Woo Pig Suey, baby. So crank up Bruce Springsteen.
We're not allowed to play Bruce Springsteen here on the show. That is one of the disallowed musicians from Matt Jones. So we can't do that. Unfortunately, you can say his name. We just can't play anything. I did want to give you an opportunity, though. Eduardo, a very happy anniversary to you and Mrs. Sherpa. It's a big deal. How many years?
I tell you what, we've been married 9 years. And I tell you what, I did a dedication tour this morning. I tell you what, on a serious note, sometimes she makes reference that I love the Hall Train more than her. Oh, by the contrary. I believe the heart is an awful big place. It contains chambers. Of course, my love for the Hall Train is different than my love for her. No doubt about it. And, her biggest complaint about me is our closets are overflowing. She ain't got room for her clothes anymore. With all my Razorback jackets, polos, you name it, it's in there. And so that's the biggest complaint for her. But when I received one of the most devastating news any parent could receive, she never left my side. And what do you think that means? Well, she's echoed in my soul, just like the Hawk Train, like California Go. And come Saturday night, our passionate fan base is coming with that California Go, baby. And we're going to pour it all over the Tigers of Baton Rouge.
Eduardo, woo! That's exactly right. We appreciate the phone call, man. And I'll tell you what, I don't think she matters. I don't think she minds very much whether or not she's got enough room in the closet because she's got so much of the recipe. The recipe books are huge in the Sherpa household. So I'll trade some space. I'll trade some space in the closet for the size of the recipe book that you guys cook from.
9 years. Congratulations, Sherpa.
That's outstanding for Eduardo the Sherpa. You can get with us, too, at 877-377-6963. That's 1 hour in the books and 2 more to go. Gino Torretta, Heisman Trophy winner, former Miami Hurricane, will join us in about 20 minutes.
I feel like all I want to do is ask him about quarterbacks that are playing. It's like I just want to ask. I'll probably find like 4 of them. I'll be like, hey, what about him?
Matt, I just have a sense that could be one of those segments that I might just walk away and let you guys do your thing.
No, not at all.
Stay with halftime. Into the second hour in just a moment.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we're inside of Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. I'm with my guy, Josefa. Today, it was the French toast turkey melt, but other daily specials every single day.
Yeah, Ty, we just kind of want everybody to know that we're not just sandwiches around here. We have all kinds of different specials. There's always something different right here at Lily's Sandwich Shop.
Award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Don't believe me? Talk to Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too, and so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with Always On Energy. Visit AOGC.com.
It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Heather balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest. It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Heather balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon climbing into the upper 60s. Clear and pretty brisk as we head through the night. Overnight low will drop down upper 30s. Friday, lots of sunshine, a high in the low 70s. And then Saturday, a bounty of sunshine, highs on Saturday close to 75. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got to take it in hand and doesn't respect it. Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we're not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
That's even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
One minute after noon on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing, and we got you for another couple hours. Heisman Trophy winner and former Miami Hurricane quarterback, two-time national champion Gino Torretta will be with us in about 15 minutes. His touchdown radio outfit, which of course Brett Dolan, our friend, is on the play-by-play. We'll have the call on national radio of Arkansas versus LSU. Of course, we'll have the full broadcast the one that you like to listen to right here on ESPN Arkansas. Get things going at 1 o'clock with Arkansas Game Day, 3 o'clock for the Learfield pregame, 6 p.m. kick, and then Hog Reaction afterwards. 877-377-6963 for calls and for texts on halftime today. Matt, we had a little baseball yesterday. The Dodgers did it again, an 8-0 shutout over the Mets. That's 4 shutouts in the last 5 games.
That's like the 85 Bears.
That's kind of right. But they didn't have the injury issues that the Dodgers do at this point. So it's kind of still, for me, it's coming out of nowhere. Allowed just 8 base runners yesterday. Mets couldn't get anything going, really only had a couple of chances to score, and some late home runs put it out of reach. But Dodgers put a lot of pressure on the Mets from the start with 18 base runners, and now they got a 2-1 lead still in New York. The series resumes later on tonight. But it's one step back from the precipice of a Subway series, but it is a step closer to a coast-to-coast series, which I think that'd get a lot of people interested. The idea that the Yankees, and I think New York is going to beat Cleveland. The Dodgers and Yankees have played 11 World Series against each other. 11 of them. It's the most, popular is not the right word, but it's the most often World Series matchup, and you haven't had one of those since 1981. So all these years later, it looks like we very well could be on the way to another one. Though I would say if the Mets won yesterday, they would have really had the Dodgers behind the 8 ball. I still don't think Los Angeles has the pitching for a series to go a full 7 games, but they definitely have the bats to end the series before it even gets to 6. Yankees are back out there today against Cleveland. Clark Schmidt for the Yanks, Matthew Boyd for Cleveland. And this is about as must-win as it gets, because I don't think this is a Guardians team that would be like that 2004 Red Sox team to win 4 games in a row. To me, I think they need the win today.
So it's 2-1 Dodgers over the Mets right now, and then is it 2-1 Yankees over Cleveland, or is it 2-0 right now?
2-0.
Yeah, they do need to win one, huh? They get off to 3-0. Yeah, Yankees are tough.
Yeah, that lineup is tough to get through. Really tough to get through, especially the way that when Giancarlo Stanton is hitting the way that he is in this postseason, even though Aaron Judge is not, I think that puts a ton of pressure. They need somebody. They need one of their big boppers, and he's the big one right now. Soto, too. I mean, he's a great hitter.
Do you think anybody on the Yankees is wearing a buzzer? Do you think they got anything going like that? Have we patted them down? Have we checked it out?
I would like, because they've been the team that's been the loudest about the sign stealing scandal, because they lost to those Astros in 2017 in the championship series. So that would be the height of hypocrisy. No, I don't think there's anything going on there.
Good.
Yankees would never cheat. No, never.
The pinstripes are enough.
Of course, yeah. Not allowed to have any real facial hair. Can't have a lot of jewelry, which of course means you would never cheat. Brian in Ozark would never cheat. He's called us here on halftime. Brian, what's going on? How are you today?
I'm doing good. Right now, I'm headed to Fayetteville to pick up some tickets to the LSU game.
So you're going to the game. Are you wearing red like all other Razorback fans there? Will you actually dare to wear the burnt orange?
I will actually have to wear purple and gold.
Oh, my gosh. You're going in that direction? Is this because does the person that you're taking to the game like have naked pictures of you or something that you don't want to have released?
No, the reason being is I have a bet that Arkansas won't make it past 6-6, so I have to root for LSU.
It's all about your. Well, I get it. I mean, you're part of the betting public. I get it.
Yeah. So I mean, anyway, but I do have a question for you.
Shoot.
I don't know where Taylor Green's bone bruise is. And I'm sure Matt's probably had some. I don't know. But, I've had, back playing at Southside, I had bone bruises in my ribs and my knees. And they don't usually heal in a week. Generally, if you get hit one time, you're out. Is that not a concern right now? Because, LSU's going to go after that spot with a legal or illegal hit just to take him out. I'll just hang up and see what you guys think. Y'all have a great day.
Brian, that's a legitimate question. They know exactly where he was hit, Matt. It looked like it was just below that left knee. And I don't think he would have played if he had a game last week. I'm still kind of surprised that he's not even on the injury report for this game, and it's less than 2 weeks since the hit. But LSU knows where that hit, where it occurred. Brian's thinking that they'll go after that knee. I mean, you don't expect for players to be dirty, or do you?
No. There shouldn't be anything dirty about it. It's competition. It's competing. If I get a chance inside the whistles, then you go hit them. That's just part of it. And you play full speed. You play fast. You don't play scared or timid. That's how you get hurt. And yeah, so and we've kind of went over this. If Taylor Green starts, do you think he finishes? I think that was the second question I asked you today this morning. That's top of mind, I think, for everybody. You're thinking, well, is he going to make it the whole game? But I think for the morale, for the team, you see your guy go out there, you see your captain, you see your leader start and go. I think that's big time. I that's so for those reasons. I just you hope he's healthy. You hope he doesn't get hit, and you hope he's able to kind of be Taylor Green. Or some sort of his athletic ability is. I mean, that's how he beats the blitz is with his legs most of the time.
I thought about that. What it means emotionally or mentally when it's obvious that one of your guys isn't at 100% but is still out there giving his 100%, and what that means, emotionally, what kind of a lift that gives to a team. You see examples of it in the baseball playoffs right now. You're watching Brandon Nimmo, the left fielder for the Mets. He's got plantar fasciitis. I mean, I don't know how he's even able to play, but he's out there. Freddie Freeman looks like a little bit of a shell of himself with that ankle sprain. High ankle sprain supposed to be 4 weeks. He's out there a week after the injury occurred playing baseball. But, they're not the same players, but there has to be a boost for their teammates, knowing that those guys are out there. And those are two of maybe the best players on either team in some cases. With Green, it's just I do expect it's not that LSU is going to go low after him or try to have
you want to make him flush.
You're going to test him. You're going to test that leg.
Can he get out of the pocket? Can he run? Is he mobile? Is it a straight line speed, or can he get down in a defensive stance and do shell drill? Could you do that with your knees? You know what that is?
Do a wall sit,
right? Can act like you're getting a lead at first base, about to steal second, like doing those movements? That's what you want to see, or is he just if he has a straight line speed, that's something. That's at least something if he can do that. But can he wiggle a little bit and get out of the way, get out of harm's way? Because if I'm LSU, I'm bringing some heat. I'm bringing some heat early. I'm going to try to get to him early. I'm going to try to anytime he does one of those read options, if he does not hand the ball off, man, I'm trying to hit him.
Speaking of heat, here's Charlie, who has brought the heat at times in the last week or so. Charlie, where's your intensity level here right now? Are you at a 6? You at a 7? You can't be at a 10 on a Thursday.
You know what, Phil? The thing is, I'm a little upset, only because of this. Eddie, I can't beat him at anything. I was gonna beat him today.
Just don't try to.
In here. No. See, the thing is, this morning he called and gave me a shout out on the Bo and Chuck show. Like he shouted out what I did on here. But man, I wanted to beat him to the punch today, and he was on the last segment. I was gonna say, today is. Did he tell you guys it was his wife and their anniversary, right?
Yes, he did.
Jim McMahon.
So I was gonna try to beat him and give him a shout out and say, happy anniversary. But gosh darn it, that you can't catch Eddie. I mean,
how did this happen? We've got BE and JT on the text line always competing. Now Eddie and Charlie's trying to. Hey, Charlie, you can't. Don't try to compete with Eduardo. I mean, that's like me trying to compete with Joe Davis or something here. I mean, just be yourself. Just compete with yourself, man. That's usually what you do with these phone calls. It's why you self-scout. Just worry about yourself.
I do worry about myself, Phil, but you get that competitive fire in me. I love Eddie. I love it. It's like it's competitive, from a good standpoint. It's not like, I just like Eddie, man. He's one of my favorite callers on here.
Well, I can tell he's had an influence on you because you can hear that little wrinkle in your nose and a little growl that you throw in every once in a while. Now, that's new. That came from Eduardo.
But you see, Phil, you always say that me and Eddie need to meet each other. But see, we have this little plan, and C-Unit, don't you ever tell him this. We're not going to tell him what we're going to do. But I'm just going to kind of give you a little hint. What if we just kind of snuck in there? It was just me and Eddie at the same time, Phil. And we were both right there in front of you. How would you do with that?
I think my head would explode, and I think you'd have my brains all over your shirt.
Man, the car didn't go over no bump.
There. Hey, but Matt, you were talking about Taylor and his health. I think even early on, we might see with some of Bobby's play calling where they're at as far as what they're thinking. Because if I don't see a zone read on the first drive, because they normally run something like that probably at least once
In the
on
first 5
drive.
plays, you're right.
Absolutely. If I don't see that early, then I might be in my head thinking, okay, maybe let's see how they're granted. LSU is already really good as far as getting to the quarterback. I think they lead the SEC in sacks and all of that. So I'm expecting us to do some things anyways to try to get the ball out, quick game, and all that. But yeah, man, if I don't see nothing like that early, then but look, we all know that's going to happen. I mean, we know LSU might go. It's not like there's targeting on the knees, is there? I mean, I know they call that in the NFL when
they can call a low hit. I think they can call a low hit. I think you can call a roughing the passer in that case. That was the call on Green, though I thought that was more about it being a late hit than anything else.
But and that's what I'm saying. We all know LSU is going to probably try to test that. But I think early we'll see how they're really feeling. My thing is, I'm just hoping that he's good. Bobby, let's give him some easy stuff early. Let's try to get him into a rhythm and get his confidence. Because I felt like the last game, Matt, and I told you this, he really sat there in the pocket more than he had all season and just put the ball on the money. But I definitely think LSU is going to come after him and be aggressive because that's what they do anyways. So.
Oh, sorry about that, Charlie. Go ahead, man. All right, I think he got out there. I think they're going to be very aggressive against Arkansas defensively. I don't think there's any other way to go at it. And truthfully, I think they would do the same thing if Green is at 100%. I think that they would come aggressively at him too because they go after the quarterback, and I don't think that would change very much. Brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, the dealership that's been serving the River Valley in northwest Arkansas for going over 7 decades now. Junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, right beside the Cracker Barrel. Online at crabtreerv.com. Heisman winner Gino Torretta, former quarterback from the Miami Hurricanes, and on the call for Arkansas LSU on Touchdown Radio, joins halftime right after this.
Who's the big winner here tonight at the casino? Huh? Mikey, that's who. Mikey's the big winner.
This is halftime.
We'd like our program to reflect our state, the great state of Arkansas. Loyal, tough, hardworking. One of our goals every year is to make the state of Arkansas proud of the football team. In my office is a sign that says you're not coming to play for the University of Arkansas, you're coming to play for the state of Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
From the Buffalo River to the Louisiana line, from the Texas and Oklahoma borders to the capital city and into the Delta, the natural beauty, the natural resources, and the hardworking citizens make Arkansas Sports District more than just the heart of the natural state. It is a land of opportunity to raise families, to build communities, and to do our part for a brighter future. I'm Congressman Bruce Westerman. It's an honor to serve you. I approve this message and sincerely ask for your vote.
Paid for by Westerman for Congress.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these red-hot buys at any of our 4 locations. Huge mums in 10-inch pots, only $8.99. Get instant savings of up to $50 on select Ego, Craftsman, and Still outdoor power equipment. And check out our great deals on chainsaws and blowers for fall. Order online now and pick up in-store or curbside anytime. Find more everyday low prices online at JaegersHardware.com.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adventure Dave will be attempting his greatest stunt yet. He will jump over 100 boats, ATVs, cars, and trucks, all at Adventure Oklahoma in Roland, brought to you by Auto Finders. Here he comes now. Adventure Dave, why did you choose Adventure Oklahoma for this stunt?
Well, Tom, Adventure Oklahoma is your one-stop shop for adventure. Plus, no one else would let me jump over their boats and ATVs.
Adventure Oklahoma by Auto Finders has it all. Brand new, used, that's right. CF Moto, Arctic Cat, and Segway side-by-sides and ATVs, all with a free 5-year warranty. Only offered by Adventure Oklahoma. Plus, G3 boats, Suncatcher pontoons, and Falcon Bass boats with delivery up to 100 miles away. The lowest priced pre-owned vehicles in the area with 90 days to your first payment.
That's right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with Destiny.
Yes, and what a jump it will be.
No, the jump is tomorrow. This is Destiny.
See y'all later. Well, until then, visit Adventure Oklahoma in Roland, brought to you by Auto Finders. AutoFindersOK.com.
Your journey starts here.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Strange ways coming today. I put $1 in my pocket and I threw it away. Been a long time since the federal job made it you buy sound like a miracle mile. All my worries, fix the thoughts. All my hopes, you can check it out walks. Now let down souls can't feel the rhythm. Sorry entertainers like aerobics victim. Hybrid people light a wooden matchstick. Toxic fumes in the burning plastic. Beats all broken, bones spastic. Nobody talking with a southern accent. You do curses by the tons. Voices coming from the mangled lungs. Need some grits. Get that shit. Don't need a good reason to let anything rest.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Usually Brett Dolan joins us on a Thursday, play-by-play for Touchdown Radio. I think we have a guest that's just as good, if not a little better, and he sits right next to Brett for most of the broadcasts, is Gino Torretta, who is his color analyst and the owner and founder of Touchdown Radio, and also, of course, Heisman Trophy winner, quarterback at Miami, former NFL quarterback. And Gino, we appreciate your time today. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. We're really excited about this Arkansas LSU game. I know you must be as well. First of a couple of trips to Razorback Stadium, but will this be the first time you've ever been to Razorback Stadium? Because I know when you played against Arkansas in '91, it was in Little Rock at War Memorial.
It is not the first time, and I've been several times to Herman. So, yeah, I feel like I'm a local.
So how do you order your steak at Herman's then, and which one do you order?
The big T-bone.
Got the appetite for it as well. Arkansas versus LSU. This ought to be a really, really great game. We see Taylon Green healthy apparently, and is not even on the availability report. Just kind of give us your thoughts as you research both of these teams and what you think about the matchup this Saturday.
Well, I think it's going to be a great matchup. Obviously, a huge win. You had a tremendous environment against Tennessee. The week off, fortunately for Taylon, he's able to get back healthy from whatever the knee injury was. But very impressed with Arkansas's D. Really kind of getting after the quarterback at Nico at Tennessee. They have like 4 sacks through 3 quarters. So aggressive. I thought they adjusted well, and I think offensively to move the ball like they did, not get points, to not be discouraged and just keep plugging along and pull out a victory in the end, I thought was pretty impressive. And it looked like one of the best environments that college football has had this season.
Gino, Matt Jones here. Hey, who's the best team you've seen so far this year in college football?
Oh, you know what, Matt? The crazy thing, we did Georgia Clemson week 2, and I was like, man, Georgia's just going to roll through their schedule. And then we did them a couple weeks later against Kentucky, and they got their butt whipped for essentially 60 minutes. And I think that with the transfer portal and guys moving, I think there is more parity, it seems like, in college football this year. And if you're not on your A game every single week, you can get beat, and that's especially any team in the SEC. I mean, obviously, we just saw Vandy, upset Alabama. I don't think this is different. Seems to be a different year where this isn't a year where there's 2 or 4 teams that are clearly head and shoulders above everybody else. I think, obviously, we saw Oregon and Ohio State kind of, go to the mat right down to the last thing. But, I'm really – it's going to be one hell of a 12-team playoff at the end of the year, and I'm curious to see how the SEC really kind of shakes out, because there's going to be a lot more great teams that have losses as we progress.
It's kind of interesting how it all came together, and I think, the way that you put it, college football is a little bit lucky that the first year of the 12-team playoff coincides with this, roster chaos with the transfer portal, which has led to the parity that you're talking about. Because the old thought used to be, well, there's only 3 teams every year who really look like they can win a national title. This doesn't feel like one of those years. But also the NCAA didn't plan on the portal being open like this when you first, when the idea of a 12-team playoff came out. So it feels to me like, it's a kismet, luck, whatever you want to call it, but it works out well.
Yes, I would say this. Gone are the days of where we can read a Feel Still magazine in the summer and be like, hey, that offensive line has 300 starts. They should be able to be pretty good at the point of attack. And by the time August rolls around, there's only one of those offensive linemen left. So I don't think we're gonna see that. But on the other hand, there's 3 6-year quarterbacks that I'd probably say are all in the top 10 for the Heisman. So the more experience the quarterbacks get wherever they go, they seem to be successful. But it's a matter of putting the other pieces of the puzzle around them. And even in the middle of the year, we have guys kind of opting out, not happy with their playing time. They're good players, very good players, and so it's quickly changing in front of our eyes.
Gino, if I'm talking to young kids or high school kids, I tell them to watch how Derek Carr plays quarterback for the Saints. And everybody doesn't have the talent of a Patrick Mahomes, but who are some of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now that you really like the way they go about it and how they play?
Well, I think Mahomes is obviously just an incredid arm talent of how he can move around and really throw the ball with tremendous velocity from all angles. I'd probably say you look at Purdy in the 49ers, he just processes so quickly, and he's not the biggest, fastest guy in the world. I always thought in the NFL there might be 4 or 5 guys where you look at and you're like, wow, they clearly throw it better than everybody else. But, pretty much everybody's about the same. It's a matter of how quickly you can manipulate the defense, how quickly you can learn that offense. Peyton Manning wasn't a Hall of Famer his rookie year. It took time. It took years in the same Tom Moore offense. And, Hall of Famers around him with Edgar and the Dallas Clark and those guys. So I think that, it's the hard as heck to get there, but it's a never-ending process of continuing to work hard, with your not only your physical traits but the mental side. And and I think in college football, the guys that process the quickest offensively are the guys that become the most successful.
Hey, and then I had a couple quarterback questions. You can't blame me for having you on. With with Cam Ward at Miami, and I'm trying to project to the next level, and a lot of people talking about Shedeur Sanders. I think Quinn Ewers might be the best prospect that goes up to the next level. You got guys like Dylan Gates. Do you think Shedeur Sanders has a strong enough arm to play on Sundays?
I do. He's very accurate. We saw him against Nebraska. Now their offensive line struggled that week. Nebraska had some pretty good scheme against him, but he can make all the throws, sideline to sidelines. I think Cam Ward's an incredible talent, arm talent as well, very accurate with the ball. He gets, a little laissez-faire with it at times, holds on to it too long and waits, and he takes unnecessary hits. You know, I broadcast the Cal-Miami game, and I'm like, if I'm his quarterback coach, I don't want to see my guy take hits. If the defense guesses right and everybody's covered, just throw the ball away and go to 2nd and 10. But he has a tendency to do that. Ewers, you might be right. Top end, he's got everything. Beck at Georgia seems to have everything. I don't know if they pull the reins on him some, because it sure, seems like, in the Kentucky game, they'd have a 3-man front. They're +10 going in, and he does an audible run. Like, clearly, I can see it. Everybody can see it in the stadium that they're playing pass. It's just hand off, and he didn't audible. The one guy I would even say, and I just saw him at Penn State USC. Drew Aller is very talented. He's big. He can move well enough. And another guy which I would love to, kind of see him with an offensive guy like Petrino, where they let him go out there and sling it, because he's got the arm talent to win football games at that position.
What do you think of Taylon Green, Arkansas quarterback? He's really, really exciting, about as athletic as the guys we've seen here since maybe the guy that I'm hosting the show with. But we're wondering if he's at 100%. He's not on the availability report, but Sam did say earlier in the week, and I think he even mentioned it on the teleconference yesterday, not 100%, but he's going to start, he's going to play, and I think we might learn a little about him as a quarterback if he's even limited a little bit with his mobility.
Well, I would say this, that even if he's limited a little bit with his mobility, he made some throws in the fourth quarter down the sideline and cover 2, like a fade route and just a seam route, just a bullet right in front of the safety. Very impressive throws. I think Petrino's good friends with Coach Erickson, my head coach. A lot of the scheme stuff is similar to what we ran at Miami, so maybe he puts a little bit more of stay in the pocket. They like, Bobby likes those naked bootlegs, and I would not want pressure in the face of Taylon, coming off that injury. Like you said, if he's not 100%, but he's got the size, he has the arm ability, and I think that as the season has progressed, he has gotten better. I mean, listen, Arkansas is some turnovers away from really being undefeated. I mean, that's the way I look at it, and that's on the quarterback being more comfortable in a scheme and in a system. But no, I think the sky's the limit with Green. I think he has arm size, talent. He can drop it sideways, and he's got the athleticism. So that's what's going to be fun to watch. I wouldn't want to be a D coordinator calling defenses against some of these guys, but
Gino, the SEC it's thick this week. There's a lot of good games. Which one of these teams? You got Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas. Easy enough to say take both home teams. Which one of these teams do you see on the road? Can Alabama go into Knoxville, beat Tennessee, or do you think Georgia has a better chance going to Austin to beat Texas?
Personally, I would say Alabama. For whatever reason, with Tennessee, you guys played them well defensively. I think their offense hasn't been hitting on all cylinders, and that's why I'd give Alabama the best chance. I think of all these teams where, is there clearly somebody better than the rest? I might give a slight edge to Texas, and I'm not so sure. Maybe Georgia's back at full strength. Their DN Michael is he back at full strength? Because they went after him at Kentucky, kind of clipped him, or Clemson and clipped him in the leg. So if Georgia's back to full strength, maybe they are better than what I saw. I'm just going by what my eyes saw the last time against Kentucky, but I would take Texas at home and Alabama on the road, just because Tennessee's kind of struggled offensively, and I don't know. The one thing I did like defensively, how you guys played them, how Arkansas played them. They would rush 3, and then they wouldn't play prevent defense underneath it. They wouldn't drop to zones. It was almost like the defenders underneath turned and looked dialed up the receiver, so it looked like man under, 3 deep, and a 3-man rush, and it totally threw off the quarterback and the scheme, and it was successful.
Hey, last thing, Gino, and just kind of on the perspective that you have as a Heisman Trophy winner, does it mean the same thing now that it did when you won it? I was looking in the 90s, and it wasn't specifically an award that went to the best quarterback of the best, the starting quarterback for the best team. You had running backs that won it. You had Charles Woodson won it in that decade as well. And it seems it's been much more reserved for quarterback on the best team, or who's ever the quarterback that's had the best season right now. And I wonder, is that just a matter of it being reflective on the current state of what college football looks like? What does this award mean to you now?
I think that, I think it's the greatest award in sports, to be honest. I mean, not just because I won it. It's just, it follows the winner through his lifetime. I mean, it's a tremendous honor, but it's also, can be a burden at times as a winner because of that attention that comes with it. But I would say that I don't think it's just the top quarterback. I think the college football game from when I played has completely changed. I mean, half my team might be ejected on some of the hits that were legal back in the day. And so you think of the aggressive nature of that. I think that, we probably ran 60 plays in a game. Teams were running 80 to 100. So the rules have deemed that, listen, you can pass easier. I mean, it's frustrating to me when I go and watch a game that nobody gets under center. And if I was a running back, if I was McFadden in the backfield, I'd be highly upset. I would not like taking a handoff sideways and trying to figure it out. And I think that running backs are better when they take a handoff going at the line of scrimmage and you give them a cutback lane, backside or outside in the play side. And to me, it opens up so much more. So I would like to see more under center, but the game has become, it's almost turned into a 7-on-7. And if you can pressure a quarterback with a D line with 4 guys rushing, then, defensively you got a chance. But I would also think this year, based on how we've gone through this start, you got the running back at Boise State. You got a 2-way star at Colorado. Hell, I just did the Penn State's tight end had 17 catches for 200 and something yards. He snapped the ball, threw a ball, ran a ball. And I'm like, I mean, that's the way I look at it. Is like, okay, individually, I want to see a performance, and I'm going to vote for the best performer. It's not always, just the best quarterback. I mean, I've voted for defensive guys that really had no chance just because I thought they were the best player with my own eyes when I went and watched it and broadcasted the game.
Gino, we'll leave it there. I appreciate you making time for us today. Really enjoy the conversation. Have a good call, safe travels here, and give Brett a little elbow in the ribs on Saturday for us, okay?
Sounds good. See you guys this weekend.
Thanks, Gino.
Gino Torretta, Heisman Trophy winner, former quarterback Miami, and on the call for Touchdown Radio this weekend of LSU at Arkansas. Halftime is brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback right next to Baum. Have you gotten all your Razorback gear that you need? Basketball season is less than a month away. Football season full swing. Whether your needs are tailgating, game day, man cave, dorm room, anything. Doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Call Robert, Elizabeth, or Matt at 479-STADIUM. Or give them a visit right next to Baum on Razorback. Tell them we at ESPN Arkansas sent you. They're online at shoponrazorback.com. Quick break. More halftime right after this.
This is halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. You can barely see the concrete when you roll by Harry Robinson because there's so many cars on it right now. You may have to build more parking area.
Tommy, I'm excited, and you're right. You know, I've been talking to Harry about extending this lot and making more room for more cars. I mean, we're trying to find parking spaces. I mean, new inventory. We've got 60 new units on the lot. Used inventory. We've got 100 used cars on the lot. I mean, this is the biggest selection that we've had since 2020. So come down here and see us. I'm telling you, we've got what you're looking for. Car, truck, van, SUV. When it comes to new, we've got the selection. I've got 2 Roush Mustangs parked out there on the lot right now. Come and see us. If you're looking for a deal, it doesn't matter what you're looking for. Come and see us at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford.
And not only just selection, but great pricing as well. Nobody will beat the prices at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw and online at harryrobinson.com.
It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest. Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest. It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest. Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts. TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith now has meal deals starting at $9.99, which includes an entree, side, and fountain drink. Try their delicious 6-ounce sirloin served with seasoned fries for $15.99. The Bacon Ranch Chicken Sandwich with seasoned fries, $11.99. Chicken Caesar Salad for $10.99 and more. Their meal deals also include tasty chicken fettuccine Alfredo served with garlic breadsticks for $12.99 and a cheeseburger with seasoned fries for only $9.99. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
The feeling deep inside. Find the corner where I can hide. Silent steps crowding me. Sudden darkness. No sugar tonight in my coffee. No sugar tonight in my tea. No sugar to stand beside me. No sugar to run with me.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963.
Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
You see yesterday that the sale, well, I don't call it a sale, but the partial sale of the Vegas Raiders to Tom Brady went through. I think he owns 10% of the Las Vegas Raiders now. Here's Mark Davis after the sale.
What role do you expect Tom Brady to play in your organization?
Well, it's kind of putting the cart before the horse. We wanted to get to this point first before we started defining anything of that nature and all that. But it's just exciting. What I was going to say is we traded Devontae Adams for Tom Brady. And it turned around pick. And although Tom can't play, I think he can help us select a quarterback in the future and potentially train him as well. And so that's a huge benefit to the organization.
I don't think Mark Davis can help but not be awkward.
I was about to say Tom Brady's better than the quarterback they got right now. I mean, if we just all want to just kind of say it how it is.
So hold on a minute. You traded that guy. I think maybe I'll rescind my offer for.
What's Jackie Moon do in the semi-pro? He's like, I'm the starting power forward. I'm the owner. I'm the coach.
I still think there's only been one owner who's actually played for the team that he owns. Mario Lemieux. Mario Lemieux did that with the Penguins about 24 years ago.
The two quarterbacks for the Raiders, all right? Gardner Minshew. He's 70% completion, but that's today's game. 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions through 5 games, been sacked 15 times. I have to believe Tom Brady would be putting up way better numbers than that.
I think he might too. Yeah, I think he really would too. Do you think he could actually get on the field and play right now? I mean, it would take a little bit of time to learn an offense and everything, but I wouldn't put anything out of his reach. Although I do feel like have you seen the restrictions that he has for the things he's not allowed to take part in as a member of Fox's #1 broadcast crew? Because of his minority ownership in the Raiders, he can't do any of these things. Keep in mind, Fox is paying him $15 million. And he can't be in another team's facility. He's not allowed to watch practice. Can't even be at the production meetings, in person or virtual meetings. Can't criticize game officials. Can't criticize any other team. Isn't allowed to gamble, which I don't think that matters. And he's subject to the anti-tampering policy of the NFL. So, I mean, that's saying, like, all right, he's got to watch literally everything he says. Can't make a single critical remark about an official. And I would think these production meetings are pretty important when it comes time to, know what it is that you're going to hit on when the game is being broadcast to literally millions of people across the country. Can't be at practice. I don't know if that's necessarily like an aspect you have to do in order to be part of the broadcast, but this is a set of restrictions that no other broadcaster has ever had to adhere to in the history of sports broadcasting.
I think he owns part of Birmingham. It's a third division soccer club in England. So, I want to say it's Birmingham. I'll have to look into it because Ryan Reynolds owns Wrexham. So it's actually a club that's, I think when he took part of it, they were in the championship. And I've told you about the most expensive game in sports. It's you go up to the next level, and it is. And I don't know if they got relegated, but they were either in the championship or second division there. And so he's got his fingers in a lot of different pies.
I think doesn't Mahomes have an ownership stake in the Kansas City Royals?
And I think his wife has a ownership stake in the soccer team there. Yeah.
But they don't broadcast those games. It's not this like anything that he does with the Royals is just that's just the monetary aspect of it. I don't think he's supposed to have any real decision-making capabilities as a minority owner, but I mean, I would assume that they'll use him as some sort of a consultant in this case. It's just an odd thing. But then again, I mean, you think about for all those years that Frank Broyles broadcast college football on ABC while he was the athletic director at Arkansas. And man, I think were there any restrictions on him for the ability to criticize officials or, criticize another club at the same time? It's got a little bit of the same feel to it. It's not like he was being paid $15 million by ABC to do it, though. So just a little different. Chris in Springdale asks, what's worth more money, broadcasting contract or the ownership stake? Well, I would assume it's the ownership stake.
Birmingham City, yeah, they're in the second tier. So they got two levels. You got to go second tier to championship, then to the Premier League. But yeah, he owns a soccer team as well.
So let's see, Brady got, wasn't it a 10-year deal worth $15 million? I think that's what it was that he signed. So it's $150 million. The Raiders are worth $7.8 billion. 10% of $7.8 billion, I think, is what it is that he's purchased.
What's that, $780 million? That can't be that. That can't be right. $780 million is how much he had to put up for that?
Now, I don't know if it's all him or if there's a partner that he's involved in with this.
Because in the Birmingham City, Phil, it's through the Knighthead Capital Management, and Brady owns 3.3% and has no voting rights. So I think that's what Davis was getting at is what are his rights going to be? What type of help? Because don't you think you would maybe want his help more in evaluation? And where it says in Birmingham City, He's the club's advisory board that works with mental health, regular health, wellness, and recovery. So more of that scientific aspect, because he did come out with that TB12 nutritional book. I think that has a little bit to do with it.
But this is, I'm looking a little more up about this, Matt. They are paying, he does have a business partner with this. The fellow's name is Tom Wagner. They are spending $220 million for this 10%. So you look up in the Raiders' valuation, and this was made 2 days ago, was $7.8 billion. But on the money that Brady and his partner are spending, then that has a $3.5 billion valuation of the Raiders. So, I mean, this doesn't sound like it's really good for NFL owners because that's taking what they thought was the value of this franchise and actually lowering it a little bit. At least in my non-business school mindset, that's how I view that. Anyway.
Las Vegas Raiders, man, that might be the aren't the A's moving to Vegas as well?
I'll see that I'll believe that when I see it. I still don't think that's going to happen, and I don't even want it to happen. So, anyway, 877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime. Craving anything sweet and delicious? Get over to Andy's Frozen Custard. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. There's locations in Conway and in North Little Rock. Andy's always has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Gearing up for the big game on Saturday. Don't leave empty-handed. Take home a pick six. That's mixing and matching 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat at Andy's Frozen Custard, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive in Conway, and JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up or drive through, ready to serve you. Back in a moment, we'll wrap up our second hour of Halftime.
This is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
This is Halftime.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, Sakale, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, every matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, and NBA to political props. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack, poke. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right, back here on Halftime. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston with you. 877-377-6963 to get with this here. Woods in Bentonville texted in about the baseball game yesterday. Dodgers bunted again. Yep, that's right. When they bunt, they win. I think it's really, you see them doing that when they have the lead. You see Arkansas do that a little bit more often. When they have the lead, they can kind of try to play for a run or two runs in a couple of cases. Not going to be doing that when they're behind. I doubt they try that if they're tied very often. Jeff from Fort Smith, loved your Jackie Moon reference there, Matt. I've only seen the movie once, so I never get the quotes from that movie. Which movie was that now? Now I remember seeing it one time, but sometimes I can't remember all the movies.
That's Andre 3000. You know, they're playing for the Mega Bowl.
They're the Flint Tropics, right?
Fourth place. Yeah.
That's funny. My father and I once celebrated the Pirates won the last game of the 87 season to finish in fourth place with 2 less losses than wins. We were jumping up and down to the stadium shouting, "We're number 4! We're number 4!" By that time, they'd finished in last place 3 in a row. So finishing not in last place felt really, really good.
She says she wants to be an astronaut. I don't think she can do it.
See, and it's just, I feel like we need somebody to help me out with the semi-pro stuff. Either that or I can just put the movie on at some point. But I got to tell you, I haven't put on a television show that's not college football or the NFL or a Major League Baseball playoff game in over a month. Haven't watched any shows.
I'm at the top of my game. Well, who are you telling? I just got traded for a washing machine.
Sooner or later, I'll be able to trade these lines with you. It's just today's not that day.
Jason
unfortunately.
Sudeikis, he's got a seat in there, and he's like, those nachos from home. He goes, I'm a season ticket holder. I can do whatever I want.
Be with Matt and I tomorrow. Halftime is live at Pinnacle Grove's Senior Living Center in Rogers. It is Rogers' favorite resort-style senior living community. 5522 West Northgate Road in Rogers. We are there from 11 to 2. It's Pinnacle Grove's Senior Living, and we're looking forward to seeing you there for halftime. We're also looking forward to you being with us for the third hour of halftime right now. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963, and we are right back.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911. In addition to AOG, remember, if you smell gas, act fast. And always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest. It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon climbing into the upper 60s. Clear and pretty brisk as we head through the night. Overnight low will drop down upper 30s. Friday, lots of sunshine, high in the low 70s. And then Saturday, a bounty of sunshine, highs on Saturday close to 75. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What name of one Razorback? Is vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Moving on into the 1 o'clock hour here on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Colton Little, C45 is producing now. We got a wide open hour, no guests. If you would like to be a guest, we can open it up for you right now. Calls and texts wide open, 877-377-6963. I do appreciate the idea. We haven't done halftime homework in a long time, Matt. Sounds like I got homework over the weekend. I'm going to have to watch Semi-Pro.
Well, just some. It's a quick 90 minutes. You'll laugh a little bit. Who doesn't like laughing? You'll laugh a little bit. It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Got the kids coming with me to Fayetteville for the football game this weekend.
I think it's even kid friendly, so to speak. Yeah, like it's okay. Yeah,
they're at the place where they've seen.
You took them to see
Major
Deadpool.
League.
Yeah,
yeah, they've seen Major League. The boys saw Deadpool.
Y'all saw the new Beetlejuice? I haven't seen that yet. Was it okay?
We did love that movie.
Okay.
I did think it was funny. Yes, although you can kind of tell like there's something up with Michael Keaton's voice because it's just like grumbly, just like very low and grumbly, and I almost felt like he can't quite project the way that he used to.
A Val Kilmer situation, maybe
a little bit.
Let's don't turn dark all of a sudden. I got you.
Big fan of Michael Keaton, though. No,
Absolutely.
I don't think he's sick or anything like
Absolutely.
that.
Was that Game 7 or was that Game 6 that he did? It was in 2003, and it had such a great feel to the movie, and that's some of his best work. It's about when Buckner the game in Boston and the Red Sox, and it's just going about his life and about how he's living and stuff. It's such an awesome movie.
Well, he's a Pittsburgh guy. He roots for all the teams that I root for. And I saw him talk about the Pirates recently. He feels the exact same way that I do. So, hey, if Michael Keaton can feel like that about that franchise, I think I can feel exactly the same way. I don't know if you've seen this one, though, Matt. The Founder, where he plays Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. That's an outstanding movie. Yeah, that's one that I think you'd enjoy, too. All right, back to sports, though, for a moment here, because we've got a big football game coming up. Arkansas versus LSU. And I see, all these sites are doing, report cards for this thing or that thing about this aspect of the team and that aspect of the team. My simple question is here in the last hour is we're more than halfway through the season. Game 7 is coming up. Has the season gone the way you thought it would? Like if you're going to give grades to quarterbacks, grades to offenses, defenses, or everything like that, the whole thing for me is, has this season met the expectations that you had for Arkansas football before they opened up against UAPB? After you had the information from reading your football magazines and season previews over the months of the summer, or after all the practice was complete in August, and you knew what the depth chart looked like, and you maybe done some research, you might have seen some highlights on Hogs Plus or on TV news or anything, has what you've seen from this Arkansas team met your expectations, or are they better than you thought they would be? Or, and I can't imagine if this would be the case, are they worse than you thought they would be? Because right now, Matt, I think they're slightly better than I anticipated. I think defensively they're a little bit better than I thought they would be, and I think because the linebacker room's been so good as they've been, the safeties have been so good. I really did trust the defensive line would grow into what they look like right now, but I think defensively they're a little better than I expected. Offensively, I did think that there'd be a few more points scored here and there. I think more than anything, it's about finishing drives because there's opportunities to score. You're one of the more high-powered offenses in the SEC. It's just it hasn't led, in my view, to the sort of point scoring that the yards equal. But I think, like, if I were to go, all right, they've surpassed expectations tremendously, just a little bit, or right where I thought they would be, I would say they've surpassed expectations by a little bit. What do you think?
They're 4-2, and after watching them play, I really think a 5-1 should be. I mean, that Oklahoma State game just hurts you. I mean, it'd make you sick if you think about it too much. So yeah, 4-2, beat a top 10 team. Now Oklahoma State's not as good as we thought. Tennessee might not be as good as we thought. But Texas A&M, I think they are as good as we thought. And you go back, and I know they had a different quarterback that game, which their quarterback was a stud. But what I mean was how we matched up against A&M in the trenches. That told me that we can play with anybody. I mean, we can. If we're going to show up, we're going to play. We're not going to turn the ball over. Then we can. And so you talked about it. But cleaning up the mistakes at the end of drives. We had an 11-play drive against Tennessee, and then your right guard false starts. Then you throw it almost into the dirt. You could have walked in, touchdown. So yeah, there's some plays that are out there. I would say they've. I wouldn't say they've like just overachieved crazy, but I definitely think 4-2 right now. I think we would have signed up for that if before the season started, the first 6 games. They just said 4-2. Would you take it? I think we would all said yeah.
Absolutely. I would have taken that, and here we are. I'm taking it, and I'm pretty happy with it.
I'd like to go 4-2 these next 6. That's the thing. We just went 4-2 on the first 6. Now you don't get UAB, so I get that, or UAPB, both of them. You don't get either one of those. Neither one of those teams are making. They're not any good. So those were 2 easy wins. Can we go 4? I mean, you get La Tech and Mississippi State. Can we go 4-2? Is this the year we beat Missouri? Is this the year we win the state of Mississippi? If you can beat the M schools, Mississippi State, Mississippi, and Missouri, and then La Tech, there's your 4-2 right there.
Joe in Van Buren says that it's better than he thought, and he thinks they have even more potential. Wants to see how the next 6 plays out. He thinks that if the win over LSU, that they'll finish 9-3. Ryan in Prairie Grove said he had them 2-4 at this point, so he's pretty good with this. Braley says Tennessee was at number 4 at the time of that game, and that's all that matters. And look, I mean, that is a good Tennessee team. It's just I don't think they're as good at quarterback as we've seen. And
they got
that's
found out.
Yeah, they did. And it's so look at where Arkansas may have had some issues with quarterback play at times. The veteran Oklahoma State, he made some throws in the second half. I'm going to give him that. I don't know if that would have been the case if he was like a freshman, as you've seen so many freshmen. The guy that plays for UAB, Zeno, he actually played pretty well against Arkansas. He's been around a few years. The last 3 games, you haven't played a quarterback that's had a lot of winning experience. I'll throw Peyton Thorne into that as well. Hadn't really been involved in too many wins at Auburn. You're not going to face an experienced quarterback next week because Mississippi State's Blake Shapen is out. They got a true freshman starting. Nussmeier is the most experienced quarterback that you're facing for the remainder of the season. And you're facing a lot of experienced quarterbacks now. Nussmeier, Ole Miss, Ewers, Cook. I mean, that's partially why the back end of the schedule felt like it was so heavy, because the better quarterbacks that you got on the schedule are on those teams. So it's not like you'll really be able to – man, it just didn't feel like Iamaleava's head was on a swivel sometimes, just missed some throws. You're playing quarterbacks who have, and I hate the phraseology with this sometimes, but been there, done that. I think that's something that you got to take into account for this last back half of the season.
Yeah, you wonder when we get to the end, that Missouri game, maybe the tides have changed. Maybe the roles reversed from last year. Maybe their season didn't go as well. Maybe they come out a little flat. I know that's a ways to go, but you're exactly right. Those 4 quarterbacks you just mentioned for these last 6 games are better than any quarterbacks. Those are the best 4 quarterbacks. Yeah, we didn't play a quarterback like that. Yeah, not even. I mean, I really think Quinn Ewers is going to play on Sundays, and not only that, could be a number 1 overall pick. I think he's that talented. Brady Cook and Nussmeier, I think both those guys can play on Sundays. I don't think Jackson Dart can play on Sundays. I should have asked Gino about that, but he did say Shedeur Sanders had a strong enough arm, which that was kind of surprised me a little bit. But maybe he does. He's seen him. I trust him. But I don't think Jackson Dart. He's still a stud. He's a
good college quarterback.
He's a great college quarterback. Yeah, he's so good. Just that next level, you got to be special.
877-377-6963. What do you think about the next 6 games for Arkansas? What makes you nervous about it, or where do you think Arkansas may have an edge in terms of this? I think quarterback play and just watching how they do against Nussmeier in this game, I think is going to say a lot about the remainder of the season. Brought to you by our friends at Pradco Fishing Lures. When you're cold water bass fishing on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, looking for that trophy brown and the mighty white, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue is going to help you catch him with that famous rolling action when you fish it slow or fast and heavy current. This Rogue suspends. It's in that strike zone longer, and you're going to catch more fish. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue at Lurnet.com and tackle stores all over the place. Stay with Halftime. Much more after this.
Yo, Adrian, it's me, Rocky.
This is Halftime.
5 seconds to go. Matt, right side. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Qualls with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins. It goes and Arkansas wins. Qualls with a two-hand finish. Arkansas wins the ball game.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
From the Buffalo River to the Louisiana line, from the Texas and Oklahoma borders to the capital city and into the Delta, the natural beauty, the natural resources, and the hardworking citizens make Arkansas Sports District more than just the heart of the natural state. It is a land of opportunity to raise families, to build communities, and to do our part for a brighter future. I'm Congressman Bruce Westerman. It's an honor to serve you. I approve this message and sincerely ask for your vote.
Paid for by Westerman for Congress.
Bow season is underway, and Jelco Outdoors has all your archery and hunting equipment to help you bag that big buck. Select new compound bows by Bowtech, Elite, and Hoyt. Save $200 off. Beartech crossbow packages, now only $329.99. Save $200 off select Raven crossbows, clothing, boots, tree stands, saddle equipment, feeders, nut grub, and grunt calls. Jelco has it all for you. Good luck and safe hunting. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
What's new and what's on sale at Wheeler Power Sports? Many new bikes, quads, and side-by-sides from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Polaris are arriving weekly. New to the dealership, the Polaris Ranger XD 1500, Kawasaki Ridge with a full cabin, HVAC, and the all-new Brute Force 450. Plus, we have rebates and dealer discounts totaling as much as $6,000 off certain side-by-sides. WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure and get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
All of the release.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt, all the years I spent in professional baseball, and you get a sense of, who some of the more important people are around the ball club that don't play or don't coach. And it is the clubbies and their assistants. And I'll tell you, the ball play, you can tell a lot about an athlete based upon how they take care of the athletic trainers, the equipment people, the clubhouse managers, and the clubhouse assistants. Just huge portions of these teams that sometimes don't get a lot of credit or even respect in some cases. But the athletes always respect those people.
My guy in Jacksonville, his name was Drew. My guy in Fayetteville was named Tim Chaney. I know, those are my buddies. Like that's the equipment guys, and those are they say recruiting's the lifeblood of college football or your team or whatever. Those equipment guys, man, those are a little bit of the lifeblood that keep you going. And obviously the Dean Webbers and the trainers that you have too, it's a little bit different, but yeah. The equipment man, he takes care of you. Man, that can be big to have him on your side.
They're the first ones on site. They're the last ones to leave. They're the ones that set everything up for the players. They're the ones that clean it all up when the game's all complete and everybody else has gone home. And they're the ones who wash the jerseys, the uniforms, the socks, the jock straps. You got to take care of these people. It's not just at football, too. I know Mark Taylor and his guys over at the baseball program, they do the same thing. Heck, I don't even think Mark sleeps during the baseball season. Like, literally, he is doing laundry until like 3 in the morning, just like I remember the baseball club he's doing too. I love what I see, and I only see it on X, on Twitter, from the Arkansas Equipment Twitter account, that it seems every week or twice a week or maybe 3 times a week, there are players from the football team who are feeding the equipment guys. I mean, that's to what it seems to me, and I don't know, maybe I'm just being naive about it. I see a tweet coming from Razorback Equipment this afternoon from about 40 minutes ago. Taylon Green brought them Raising Cane's. I don't think this was from the athletic department budget or from the coach's pockets. This comes from the Arkansas quarterback, which to me, that seems like that would be NIL money that's been paid to him for his services, for his name, image, and likeness, not for playing football, not yet. And he's kind of like paying it forward to the people that are taking care of him. I like to see that. I really do like to see that. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe you got to do that. Maybe this is an NIL deal with Raising Cane's. But to me, and I've seen like 5 or 6 other Arkansas football players that have done this for the equipment guys. You got to take care of the guys that take care of you.
Absolutely. And the strength and conditioning staff's another one. There's usually one main guy that's your strength and conditioning coach, but there's like 8 other lackeys, for less of a better term, that are there, and they stretch you. They rub you down. They make sure your pads are fit. They do all this stuff for you, and they really they're under the radar. I mean, it's a thankless type of job. But all the players, I know when I was there, man, Don Decker and his staff, man, they did a great job of stretching us and getting us ready. And it's intense when it happens. It's like, the game's going to start in 75 minutes. Everybody has to get stretched, like you got to kind of get in line and go. And it kind of happens pretty intense.
I always enjoy it. Well, not enjoy it. It's just like I was a broadcaster. I wasn't running errands for the players, but that's what. I mean, is it the same in football? You got so many different guys in a locker room. Baseball's not quite that many, but they would send the clubhouse boys to the convenience store for errands, and usually it would deal with spit tobacco, even though they weren't supposed to be using that stuff. They would still go get it. And man, I got to say, like, I would have loved to have been a 10 or 11-year-old working in a baseball clubhouse, learning all the things that those players would be willing to teach you, whether special language that they might use amongst their brothers or other things that they've experienced as they've grown up. I think that would be like a fantastic way to grow up. And usually a lot of times it is In minor league cases, it ends up being students that are done with school for the day and they end up helping out at the ballpark. Sounds like it would be a lot of fun. Could learn some things, couldn't you? Even some things that you can't take home with you at the end of the day. That's exactly right.
It was cool because, my pops being a coach, Phil, but when I was age 2, that was my babysitter. I went to practice. I went wherever he went. And then there was somebody, one of those guys was watching me, like that's how it was. I was on the sideline. From a very young age. You're right. It's pretty. And I think back to Roy Wickey's son. I think back to Bobby Allen's son. I think back to Houston Nutt's son. Even Luke Del Rio at Jacksonville. They were all about that same age when I was, that 12-year-old age. That's a very impressionable age.
It's like I heard Aaron Rodgers saying the other day when they asked him about whether or not he had something to do with Robert Saleh's firing that he was talking about Salah as a family man and that he liked him and that he hit on that one of Salah's children, his younger son, was his throwing buddy, before practice.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't know those things. We're going to make accusations that Aaron Rodgers had something to do with Salah's fire. Maybe he did. I don't know. But we have this idea of who Aaron Rodgers is. And yet here he is talking about Salah's son was my throwing partner, and I'm going to miss the kid. So, and it's just two different ways to look at it. It feels like it's completely different avenues on the same, coming together for the same topic. We got Josh in Fort Smith who's giving us a phone call. Josh, thanks for calling halftime. What's going on?
Hey, fellas, great show. I was going to talk about Taylor for a second. I heard Matt last week say something that I found pretty intriguing. He said that I think this injury might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise, and I'm kind of thinking the same way, but I was going to see if he'd elaborate on that a little bit. It feels like somebody as athletic as he is tends to rely on his instincts a little too much, and so he generally gets flushed out of the back of the pocket, stretches the pocket backwards, just does a lot of things like that. And I was wondering if that's what Matt was talking about. It might slow the game down a little bit for him, help him move up in the pocket rather than back, and look for his escape hatches, going forward rather than backward. So I'll hang up and listen.
Thanks, Josh.
I mean, that's kind of it. Learning how to stay in the pocket, because when you watch Eli Manning, when you watch a Tom Brady and even a Derek Carr, now we can go to guys that are playing now, you have to learn how to move just a foot over, a foot left, a foot right, kind of go like you got to feel it more than see it. And I think that's what that kind of help is. He's so athletic, and why would you not? He wins. He wins at probably what, 85% clip when he sees the blitz and he just takes off. Like, he's winning at such a high rate. You're not going to take that away from him. But what did Geno say? Hey, did you see some of those throws he was making in that Tennessee game? No question about it. And I do think Taylor Green grows into the game. I think Taylor Green second half is better in the first half. Like, it just from watching these first 6 games, I think he gets better in the second half. So if you can kind of learn and now it's not, all right, I'm just going to have to take out because I can't do it. Now it's, all right, shift my hips, move over, go to my second read and fire it. Go to my fire it. And so that's hopefully some of that I happen, because if it doesn't, Phil, and then he can't run, well, then he can't. Then he's a hindrance and he can't play.
So, I mean, what I hear here is it's not necessarily a matter of being elusive with your feet in this situation. It can be a matter of being elusive with your body. You don't even have to move your feet all that far.
You know who was one of the best at doing that is your boy for Pittsburgh Steelers, Big Ben. He was one of the best at just kind of moving a little bit, buying a little time, and then he could just kind of. And I think Taylor's that big where if he can stand, he can shake him off of you. Shake. You're not going to arm tackle him. But Big Ben had great pocket presence.
Well, it felt like Green had better pocket presence against Tennessee. He really did.
I'm
not going to say he wasn't like Joe Montana or anything, but he still had. I think he trusted himself a little bit more.
And it's scary in a way because it takes reps. I'm talking about Hall of Famers, and it's probably unfair to compare them to Hall of Famers, but we know what the standard is. But it takes a little bit. That's why I always say these college quarterbacks need reps. It just takes a little bit to feel when you see 4 coming weak or you see an A-gap pressure, you start to realize this is where I step. I've done it before. I step to the right, step up to, I feel it this way. You start understanding because you've done it before and he hasn't had to do it before. So once you do it, it's like anything, Phil. It's the 10,000 hour rule. Once you do it, you're going to feel more comfortable with it.
But it's also something that really can just come to you from game situations because you can't really simulate that in practice, right? You like the fear of being hit.
The speed of it, it's definitely faster.
It's got to be 10,000 out. We're throwing that number out there, but it does make sense. Like 10,000 hours of game time is what it would take.
Right. Practice helps, film helps. All that stuff helps. Good coaching helps. I'm sure they're going to have a game plan, and if I think somebody might have said this, you might have said this earlier. If he's not on the injury list at all, does that mean he's 100%?
It's like, so if you were to say yes, then it's like we heard 2 different things yesterday because Pittman said in the teleconference in the morning that he's not 100%, but then he's not on the availability report later on. So to me, I don't know what number it is, but all it means is that they feel good enough and he feels good enough, and so do the trainers and the doctors about that bone bruise, that he can get out there and be the Taylen Green that they want him to be, that they maybe not necessarily all the things we've seen now, but a good enough Taylen Green to go out and play the kind of football that we've seen him play up to now.
It's a chance to rely on Satania a little bit, getting him the ball quick, knowing where he is. I know you got Armstrong, especially when he's one-on-one. I think it's a chance, Phil, to find out about these tight ends that Arkansas apparently are so deep at, that we have the depth at this tight end game, and where have they been all year? I think this is a good opportunity to utilize the tight end because those are going to be shorter throws. They're going to be easier throws. And I know that he seems a little uncomfortable going over the middle of the field, and for whatever reason, I think he'll get better at that. Maybe that's something he can get better at, knowing that I can't take off running right or left, but if I move a little bit, bam, my eyes are going to be right there in the middle of the field. Maybe our tight ends have a big game.
To your point about tight ends, remember how the tight end group looked as far as that availability report last week? I mean, they were all banged up except for Varkey's Gums. Nobody is on that list now. None of them. So Haz's back must be fine. Washington's great. Poshke's back. In fact, he's good enough to be a team captain and get out there and block. So, on the other aspect of the idea, if your quarterback isn't quite at 100%, you can run the ball if you're this Arkansas team. And LSU is susceptible to allow more yards per game on the ground than all but 4 other SEC teams. So maybe that's the way that you counter that as well. So let your big nasties up front do what they've done, and let Jackson and Braylon Russell do their thing too. 877-377-6963 if you got thoughts on that.
And to your point, what is Taylen Green? What are his rushes per game? He's probably around 9 to 11 carries, and it doesn't mean that they're necessarily run plays for him, whether it might be a pass play he takes off running. Those are yards you're going to have to make up in the aggregate somehow, because I don't think that you're going to run. I don't think you're going to run Taylen Green 12 times this game.
Well, and the other thing too about his style of running is that he searches for the hit.
He tries to jump over you. He's a physical player. That's right. He looks at you and he's not scared of you. I like it.
Might take some sliding lessons into second base for this Saturday game.
Maybe. for your maybe we need you. We need you to be healthy. You don't do us any good if you're over there on the sideline and can't play.
Great specials over at Fish City Grill in Rogers right now. Shrimp creamy pesto pasta. It's a betta fusilli pasta with creamy tomato basil, topped with fresh Parmesan, artichokes, spinach, and cherry tomatoes. And there's a heap of grilled jumbo shrimp brushed in herb butter. You can get Green Goddess shrimp tacos as well, stuffed with blackened shrimp, slaw, and a special Green Goddess dressing, pickled red onion and cilantro. That's at Fish City Grill. They're at South Bellevue Road, Rogers. You can call them at 479-636-8833 and call for your Fish City Grill favorites, for curbside pickup and delivery. Also online at fishcitygrill.com. Home stretch of halftime. We're back in just a moment.
Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to Halftime live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest. It's time for the 17th annual Hodo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Hodo Balloon Fest.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Katie kept a list of times she'd really done. It's always swarmed like flies. And now we were terrified till we snuck out that night. Chrysler down drive where once we were inside. Couldn't figure out where we were off to. That was before.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Just got a text from Kelly. Wants Matt, you and Taylor Green to be the American team if freeze tag is ever an Olympic sport. Not
well,
bad.
we'd have to call Doc Brown and get that time machine all fired up again.
It might still work. You got to find the necessary. Well, you don't need the plutonium anymore, thanks to Mr. Processor or whatever it was.
It'd be like the old timers game. You know, you'd have to be over the over 40 club. Nobody wants to watch people over 40 be athletic.
You have the over 40 Olympics. I used to watch It's like you were talking about, like growing up in a clubhouse or like that. I used to go to my dad's over 40 baseball games. As his bullpen catcher, of course, I've told you about that.
I wish they would bring those all-star games back with the older players that have retired. I guess you kind of get it with the big three. You kind of get some of the players that retire or whatever. But, man, to see the greats go out there and do that, how cool would that be?
Man, they had a
Don't they do a softball game now for the all-star game in baseball with some old-timers?
Yeah, but that's also a celebrity thing. It's like celebrity and
that's right.
older ball players.
That's right.
But they used to, I don't even know, do they still do an old-timers game? Yankee Stadium used to do old-timers game where they would bring back the old-timers and they would play a game of baseball. And I remember seeing this, too, in Pittsburgh. Like, I don't remember what year it was, late 80s or something like that. And Bill Mazeroski, he was a Hall of Fame second baseman for the Pirates. You remember, he hit that famous 1960 home run. And he's known as maybe the greatest fielding second baseman of all time. And I thought, it's like, I don't remember who hit it, but he hits a ground ball to Mazeroski's left at second base. A play that Mazeroski would have been able to make with his eyes closed and in his sleep in his playing days. And the only thing he could do to get to the ball was stop it with his foot. It was like, that's not what we're here to see. We all laughed about it, but it was also sad at the same time.
They still do this very, very regularly, Phil. In Europe, these clubs have Liverpool. The Liverpool legends will play against PSG legends. You know, they do. I mean, and it happens every 6 months or so. Man, they do that a lot over there.
The younger guys have to take it easy on him, right? I mean, don't they?
No, it's old, but it's old on old.
It's old on old.
Yeah,
okay,
it's not against the teams, but that's nobody wants that. I've always said sports is a young man's game. As far as the athlete, as far as the guy out there running around and being an athlete, because nobody wants to see a 47-year-old man run around and try to be athletic.
So my father still plays baseball. 76 years old. He pitches. It is real hardball. I'm not going to call it real baseball because, I mean, look, they might be on 90. This would be the time. All right, you can kind of like go back to the little league like size of the field maybe, because the 75-year-old men shouldn't be sprinting 90 feet bases and then diving in head first and then needing about 10 minutes to get up again. That's what these games can be like sometimes. But the love of the game that these guys have to deal with the pain. You think, look, my father pitches. He's a pitcher. He'll go ahead, he'll throw 90 pitches or 100 pitches and then do it all over again 2 days later. He didn't care if it hurts. That is the epitome of, you will take me off this baseball field when I am dead. So I can appreciate that, because I feel the same way about a baseball radio booth. It's good to have those things that we love in our life. But it isn't the same as watching baseball. It's a little bit different. Freeze tag. That was kind of a fun tag game. We had like 4 or 5 different iterations of tag games. Then there was like TV tag, there was freeze tag, team tag. Can't remember some of the other ones.
They used to be that you would start off with like 3 people, and then there would be the taggers, and there'd be 20 people going, and then so whoever the 3 could tag out of that 20, then they would go to the taggers as well, and then next thing you know, everybody. That's what you try to. Dodgeball was real big whenever we called it 2-man is what we called it in middle school, but yeah, that was the big game then.
Not only did we play dodgeball growing up in school, And we didn't play it in high school because
We didn't play it in high school, yeah.
No, that was a different thing.
Younger.
We played a lot of dodgeball, like second grade up through 8th grade. And we had at my school a teachers versus kids dodgeball competition.
How awesome.
You really like
How
who-
cool
who
is that as a 7th grader? That would be like the best day ever at school.
For the 7th grader, how cool is that for the teachers? These little schmucks over here, I'm sick of these kids for everything. I'm going to throw this right at
Y'all
them. I
don't
don't
make
care
the-
if it hits them in the head or not.
The teachers don't have to throw with their offhand. They didn't have to. Yeah.
No, they are you kidding me? They were like they were fighting. There was like fight at the bat rack for the pitcher who's only throwing 75 right down the middle. They wanted to be a part of it. They absolutely wanted to do that. And it used to just be teachers versus kids volleyball. And then I don't remember, it was like the meanest teacher that figured out, hey, if we can change this over to dodgeball, we can have a lot more fun than with this stupid net in the way. We can actually throw the ball at the kids. Can have a lot of fun. Jamie May had 7th graders beat the teachers in kickball. That's now, how about that? Deserve a trophy.
You get
for
a
that.
little throwing. Can't you throw the ball at them while they're running the path in kickball? That's kind
Yes.
of, yeah, you can throw a little bit.
We played so much kickball. Like we had a kickball league 4th and 5th grade that would change on a week-by-week basis. And absolutely, I mean, that was the way that you got people out, was by throwing the ball at them.
You could beat
Shoulders
the ball
down.
You could beat them. I mean, if you could throw the ball to first base, then it still counts. But nobody wanted to do that.
Well, why would you want to do that?
That's right. We got to just lead them just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that means you got to trust the kid over at first base to catch the thing. You want to just do it yourself. Just do it yourself. Throw it at their feet, and if you miss them, then they trip because they try to get out of the way, and then you can just go pick the ball up and tag them. It is that easy. And I think baseball used to be the same way. Like, baseball's always been the same. No, it hasn't always been the same. I think in one of the early iterations of the rules, if you hit the runner with the ball, the runner's out. And it's just like George Carlin had his whole idea of how to improve baseball was pitcher hits the batter with the ball, batter's out. You get yourself 2 accurate pitchers, you can be out of there in 35 minutes, my friend, and it'll be a heck of a lot of fun. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime. Saquon Barkley returning to the Meadowlands, Matt. He was asked about it yesterday after Giants practice.
Do you have an expectation what the fans might do? I mean, I guess I said I don't expect to get booed, and I was meaning more of like this rivalry is so much bigger than what happened in the offseason between me and the Giants or Hard Knocks. Like, it's been going on for a very long time. So I've been on the other side, and I know how Giants fans feel. So I don't know what the environment's going to be like, but I'm excited. As a player, as a competitor, you got to welcome those environments and those moments. So wherever it is, hopefully it gives me a little extra juice, and I go out there and perform and help my team win.
All right. I've been to a couple of games where players make their return to the city that they initially played in and left as a free agent. I was at Three Rivers, the first game that Barry Bonds came back with the Giants. I will never forget when Chuck Knobloch signed with the Yankees and came back to play against the Twins for the first time, and I happened to be on that game too on my way out to Montana. I've never heard boos quite like that, especially for Bonds. I was standing up cheering for him because I was such a huge fan of his. This feels different, though. This is like Barkley wanted to stay there. He wanted to be a New York Giant. They just weren't going to pay him. It was his choice to go sign with an arch rival. But I don't know. Like, if I would be a fan of the Giants here, I think I would direct the boos more towards the owner's suite and the front office, the ones who let him get away and put all that money into Daniel Jones instead. I don't know. That's where you boo the decision makers instead of the athlete, who I think was looking out for himself, and he ended up with a better situation than he had in New York, Matt.
Man, Saquon Barkley, Phil, to me, he's still a top 5 running back. You know, I'm an Alvin Kamara fan. You start looking, Bijan Robinson, I think, is he hurt? He might not be hurt, but he's a stud. You get Gibbs at Detroit, Derrick Henry, obviously, and then who I thought was the league MVP last year, Christian McCaffrey. He's hurt, so he's not going. But man, give me Saquon Barkley. I think he's a top 5 running back. I don't know the Giants. Don't worry about it. I got the Eagles. I think the Eagles get back on track. Eagles probably by 2 touchdowns in that one.
Saquon right now the fourth leading rusher in the NFL.
But he
However,
the thing is, he catches the ball. He's like an Edgerrin James or a Marshall Faulk. Like he can catch the ball out of the backfield. It's about kind of, I don't even know how many catches he has, but he's capable. You don't throw the ball to Derrick Henry a lot, but you do. You can get the ball to Saquon in the air.
877-377-6963 for any thoughts about that. Remember to make sure that you renew your hunting license very soon if you're planning to get out in the deer woods. When you renew your Arkansas hunting license, you renew much more than just the hunt. You'll renew traditions. Hunting license season is wide open. Don't put it off. Pull the trigger today on the most essential part of your hunt. Renew your hunting license at huntnatural.com. And we're back to wrap up halftime right after this.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
This is halftime.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Award-winning barbecue is always at the Links at Chaffee Crossing. Whether it's ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, they can satisfy any appetite. Enjoy daily food and drink specials while you watch the games on one of several TVs. The Links at Chaffee Crossing is here and always ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
It's time for the 17th annual Podo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Podo Balloon Fest. It's time for the 17th annual Podo Balloon Fest, Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. Tethered balloon rides, balloon glows, free circus performances 3 times each day, monster truck, helicopters, carnival rides, and so much more. The Podo Balloon Fest.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles. 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics. What makes you unique from other stores in the area?
I try to build a great relationship with all of my customers. I can do just anything from cars to food trucks to signs, banners. I do a lot of custom this and that. I'll say 100% of anybody come in here, they leave out happy. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
There's a story in my eyes. Turn the pages of desire. Now it's time to trade those dreams for the rest of passion's by. I can feel it tremble when we touch, and I feel the hand of fate reaching out to both of us. I've been holding back the night. I'm searching for a true friend.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, wrapping up halftime today here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com on day 16 of 55 straight days with football on television. You got the Saints and the Broncos tonight on Prime Video. Spencer Rattler is making his first 2 NFL starts, Matt, over the course of 4 days. So welcome to the NFL. Have at it, kid. Playing against a Broncos team that's also starting a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix.
Gross.
There you go.
Gross.
But if it was Derek Carr, you might be a little bit more interested in watching.
And Tom Brady, I mean, you're talking. I know we made the joke about he owns 10% of the Raiders now. He's better than 10% of the quarterbacks playing in the league right now. Still, it's like, oh my goodness.
To that point, 16 NFL teams have already had multiple starting quarterbacks.
I told you there's not
6 games.
There's not 32 NFL quarterbacks. There's a premium, and I don't know if they're drafting guys and expected them to be out there too early, because I think they rush them into the fire a little bit. I love what's happening in Atlanta. That Kirk Cousins healthy and Michael Penix is able to sit for you. I think it's so important for these quarterbacks to be able to sit for you, but when you give them $50 million, the owner, they don't understand. They throw them out there and let's play. But yeah, maybe Spencer Rattler can get it done. I see him kind of as a Jeff Garcia, a poor man's Jeff Garcia. If you remember Jeff Garcia, the way he played, I don't think he'll ever be that good. I don't think he'll ever be as good as Jeff Garcia. I think it'll be one of those deals where if he can land on and be a backup somewhere for a decade, that's what he better hope to do, because maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm not wishing nothing bad against the kid. I just don't think he has the talent.
You know, one of the wild things is that one of those 16 teams to start multiple quarterbacks is not the Cleveland Browns, who've had the worst quarterback play in the entire NFL this year, and yet they're going to stick with him. I guess money talks, and
you know what I think?
Quarterback play walks.
How much do you buy into this? The Cowboys are tanking, even though they're doing whatever they're doing, because they want to take Quinn Ewers as their number. They want to get the quarterback out of Texas and have him be their guy going. Because you let him sit for a year or two behind Dak, let him learn. He's a Texas kid. He's right there. We haven't done our evaluation, hadn't looked at all this stuff, but I think he's going to have a chance to be the number 1 overall draft pick.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if that can't be their mindset, though. There's no way that can be their mindset.
Well, you're not winning one with Dak.
Good point.
I mean, but they're a bottom line business. It's not about winning for the Cowboys. It's about that bottom line, and that number has to be bigger than everybody else's. So they're winning on that aspect.
Yeah, well, the number has stayed larger than any other team in the NFL. I've wondered about the situation with Drake May, because in Atlanta you've got the right quarterback to be the starter while your first-round pick simmers and marinates and everything. New England was a different situation, though. I mean, for as serviceable as he can be, Jacoby Brissett is not the quarterback that you're going to sit your top-round pick behind for all that long. And, oh, by the way, there will be 17 teams that will start multiple quarterbacks after the Steelers start Russell Wilson Sunday night.
Let's get on to Russ Bus. Let's go, Russ.
Well, it is kind of odd, though, to look at a team that's 4-2 with a quarterback who's thrown, I think, one interception. That's it. But I'm not surprised they're doing this.
Most overrated quarterback of my time.
Russell Wilson.
We were talking about LSU's this generation's Texas, the most overrated quarterback in the last 20 years in the NFL is Russell Wilson.
Well, we'll see if he starts just one game for the Steelers or if they keep him out there a little bit longer. It's great stuff. Remember, tomorrow we're at Pinnacle Grove's Senior Living in Rogers, halftime live from 11 to 2 at Rogers' favorite resort-style senior living center. And that's when we'll talk to you again. Download the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. It's coming out shortly. Ruskin and Zach are standing by, and we're with you tomorrow for another award-winning edition of Halftime. For Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston, Colton Little, I'm Phil Elson. Thanks for listening today. That's Halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.
Thank you.